4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm too old for this shit.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the Electronic Eggs Capsule podcast. That's right. If you haven't heard the announcement, it's that now the episode where we look back at the month of, the 85, 95, 2005, 2015, or 96 and whatever, you get the idea. They will now be called the Electronic Eggs Capsule podcasts and not be numbered episodes, as the numbered episodes are going to become more frequent and the extras will become more frequent as well. Okay, so with that out of the way, joining me as usual, as always, on these episodes, it's Paul.
Hi, good to be back. I've been enjoying listening to the show as a listener, but obviously I love doing these chats right up until we get to the 2015 music, where we both just basically draw blanks and wonder who the hell half the artists are.
Yeah, I just dread what it's going to be like by the time we get to 2020.
Yeah. I was thinking about the same earlier, thinking, well, if we're still doing this in 10 years' time and it's 2025, mainly thanks to our children, we might actually recognise a couple of songs, or that we're so appalled by the state of the charts, we've just basically lost our minds.
I'm going to guess it's that one. Yeah.
Me too.
Okay, so let's move straight into 1985, and we'll start with the movies. There's only 2 movies to cover this month in 1985. These are UK releases as well, just so people know, in case people in America are saying, other films were released. I'm like, we know, we had to wait because we're British and we suck. So first up, we have The Black Cauldron, which was Disney's dark fantasy adventure film based on the Chronicles of the Prydain, I think it's pronounced. A series of novels, which is based on Welsh mythology. God, I'm going to have to put my teeth back in. But this film, I remember this, but I don't remember it fondly.
Yeah. Well, again, this is what I was mentioning to you when we got the show running order, saying like, I watched this at the cinema, but it's something that I don't think I've watched since being a kid. This era of Disney, I seem to, enjoying, because when you're a child, you watch anything really, but like things like this and Basil the Great Mouse Detective, that sort of era of Disney, I just can hardly remember at all. And they never really get mentioned.
No, The Great Mouse Detective I absolutely love, but that's probably because I'm a massive Sherlock Holmes fan. Anything Sherlock Holmes I'll just devour. But yeah, I agree. Like, this sort of period of Disney is quite bad, quite bleak. I think after Don Bluth left in '79, like, their animation definitely became a lot poorer. Right.
Yes.
And I think that sort of also feeds into the viewers not feeling as close to it. Do you know what I mean? Because the new animators that they got, well, they weren't new, but the animators who started taking over from like Don Bluth's amazing work just weren't. It just didn't look the same. Disney stuff just didn't
of
look
course.
the same.
Because when you look at things like what's it called, An American Tail, that's obviously quite colourful and everything.
Oh, it's a beautiful movie.
And then, like I say, with this Black Cauldron, obviously, when I look back at pictures of it, and whenever we have it in at work as well, no one ever mentions it. No one ever really buys it. But it's still one of the main Disney ones.
Yeah, and I remember seeing it in the video shop and thinking it looked, the cover of it when this was when I was a kid, and I do remember seeing the cover and thinking it looks like one of those cheap videos that you'd get, like The Little Mermaid. There'd be like another Little Mermaid that's not based on the Disney one; it's actually based on the book instead, and it'll be that sort of cover where it doesn't look like a Disney. It looks like someone trying to do Disney.
No, I know exactly what you mean, sadly. I mean, it took Disney a long time to get good again, when they started doing things like Little Mermaid and Aladdin, and started having a bit
towards
more
the end
joy.
of the 80s. Yeah, towards the end of the 80s, sort of 89 or so, their animations really picked up again. But yeah, between sort of 79 to 89, that 10-year period, Their
So
movies
our
were not as
childhood.
good. Yeah,
Our
their
childhood,
movies
my
just
God.
didn't look as good. But like I say, I did love Basil the Great Mouse Detective. The Rescuers was okay.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah. But again, that's I think it was more of the late 80s rescue. I can't remember, but
yeah, it
even
might
so,
have
it's
been.
still in the
It was
sort
definitely
of
later than the Black Cauldron.
questionable. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
But
but
I'm.
the
Do
Black
you know what? I'm
Cauldron though.
actually going to watch it
Yeah, I might watch it
again.
again actually. But I was just I did read that the movie had a budget of $44 million and only made 21.3 million. So it was a commercial flop.
Wow.
Yeah, which is
Hmm.
sad. So anyway, then let's move on to another
Yeah.
film that I don't actually like, and that's Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome. Banging tune, by the way,
Yes.
from Tina
Yes.
Turner. Absolutely incredible. But this is a poor Mad Max movie.
It's almost like more family friendly,
It
because
is,
it's lost the
yeah.
grittiness of the first two films, But I think they were rated, age rated higher as well. Where this one is a bit more like if this film came out now, it'd probably just be a 12A, almost.
Yeah. Well, I think I watched. So my dad didn't really care about us watching movies that we shouldn't have been watching. So he'd stick them on during the day. Um, and I remember watching the first Mad Max 2, and thinking, "Oh, these are dark," but I enjoyed them
Mm,
even as a kid.
yeah.
But then we watched Beyond the Thunderdome because I think I've said this on the podcast before. My dad was a massive Tina Turner fan; like he absolutely adored
Yes.
her. Married someone called Tina as well, which is my mum, not just someone
Okay.
random. Although they're not together anymore. Anyway, that's by the by. But yes, Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome, we watched that, and I remember watching it with my dad, and my dad hating it. And I think that sort of made me hate it because I was enjoying it as a kid. And then when I watched it as an adult, I was like, oh, yeah, this is like trying to be a more fun movie.
It's more
And
action adventure.
Mad Max isn't meant to be like a fun, light movie. It's meant to be quite a gritty series of movies, and it's not as gritty at all. I think probably because of the success, the success of the first two movies, not knowing they had successes on their hands at Warner Brothers, they probably thought we need to like really get this to more people. So I think George Miller, because this is the last one, isn't it, until Fury Road?
Yeah, about to say, which then returns to the grittiness,
Yeah, so
you
I'm
know.
thinking there may have been some conflict between Miller and the studio about how
Possibly,
to do this.
possibly, but then again, maybe even Miller just goes, "I want to do something different." I'm only guessing here
Yeah,
because I suppose you can't just keep doing the same thing again. Well, you can, when it's horror films and stuff, but it's
yeah, but there's doing
the,
something
the,
different. But there's doing something that's so tonally different that it
I
alienates
was
its
just about to
fans.
say that. I was just
Yeah,
about to say that. I mean, it's all very well trying to do something different when you can, but
yeah,
the fact that Fury Road was more or less back to the original vibes,
yeah,
of the grittiness again, and again bleak landscape. I'm not saying like the landscape itself was still quite bleak, but yeah, like the tone of the movie itself, with like the characters and things like that, because it was
mm,
almost like I don't know, like if you watch something like um Hills of Eyes, which obviously is like a horror cannibal type film. Like some of the characters you got in the first couple of Mad Max films, obviously scavengers and,
mm.
not creatures, but, like being
But
out
they're
on the
humans.
road
But they are,
has
yeah,
screwed them up. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like they're almost like monsters,
They're like
because they're
Gollum
not really.
style. They've been
Yeah,
changed.
yeah,
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 exactly,
yeah,
exactly. They're not really fully human anymore. They're being changed by being in the outback and everything. I think
and
that's what I
probably the
quite liked
post-nuclear
about it.
war as well.
Yes,
Yeah,
that does sort of play a part,
yeah,
you know, just a smidge.
yeah, just a little.
Yeah, just dehydrated, some might say.
But yeah, so
So
Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome, not a great watch. So
it's
we'll
not
move on to.
terrible.
It's not
I'm just
terrible.
going to finish on that. It's not terrible, but it's not great.
No, it's not. It's not a Mad. I don't consider it a Mad Max movie. I think it's a movie that has the Mad Max characters in. but it's not a fun. Well, it is a fun Mad Max movie where they're not meant to be. So anyway, let's move on to music, and with the singles this month, we have two singles that were #1 for the month of October 1985. The first one being "If I Was" by Midge Ure. This was the fantastic single, which I think is right up there with his Ultravox stuff.
Yeah, I love this. I really, really, really like this track. You know,
Great
again,
music
I had
video
it
as
on
well.
yeah, exactly. That music video was like on some sort of best of Ultravox and Midge Ure that I used to own
I
about
was
20 odd
desperate
years
to
ago.
have his moustache from that video. Like when I was a kid, I was like, I have to have a moustache like that when I'm older. That would look so amazing. I might. My hair's too grey now to do it.
No, I really, really, really like this track. I think it's a good one, definite.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love Midge Ure. I've spoken about him on this podcast multiple times,
Yes,
so
yeah.
I think that's quite well known.
I got to
And
see
yeah,
Ultravox once in 2013, so I've got to see him live, and I'm happy about that. And it's just before one of the members of Ultravox died a couple of years later, so I'm glad that I got to see that. Supporting Simple Minds, one of the best gigs that I've been to.
that should have been reversed.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it could have easily been. That's
Yeah.
what I mean. Could have been easily.
Yeah.
Anyway, what have we got
So
next?
next we've got "The Power of Love" by Jennifer Rush, which
What's the
isn't the
song?
Huey Lewis one. It's "The Power of Love," Jennifer Rush, which is the one that Celine Dion covers like 10 years later or whatever it was.
It's a good
Um,
song. I'm not really one for ballads like this, but I think it's one that doesn't do me head in, which is quite high praise because I really hate slow songs. But this one
yeah,
it's I don't know.
it's not
Maybe
bad.
it's very of the time.
Yeah, well, I prefer this one's instrumentals to the instrumentals of Celine Dion's one.
Mm.
If you
No,
listen
no, but
to
I can
them,
get that.
they're very
I've
different.
not listened to them next to each other, but yeah,
Vocally,
something like
either
this.
or.
Great.
They're both good vocalists, but yeah, like I say, instrumentally, I prefer the Jennifer Rush version to the Celine
Yes.
Dion one. So let's move on to albums. Then we have three #1 albums for the month, and that is "Like a Virgin," still hanging on in there.
Yep. Discussed a
Which,
lot.
yeah, and then "Hounds of Love" returning back to #1 again.
Again, I think we discussed that last time. I seem to
And that's
remember.
obviously Kate Bush for anyone who hasn't listened to last month.
Yes.
And then "The Love Songs" by George Benson, which I believe is a best of George Benson's love songs album.
Does what it says on the tin. Not the
Yeah,
type of thing I'd ever be bothered about listening to. Going back
no,
to, I don't really like slow stuff, and
no,
this is my,
yeah.
no.
So we'll swiftly move on then to television, and this month we have on ITV we have on the 5th of October Saint and Greavesy. Do you remember Saint and Greavesy, Paul?
I do. I also remember the St. and Greavesy Mickey takes from, I think it was,
Spitting Image.
no, I was thinking more like, it was on Fantasy Football with Badil and Skinner, I think. I'm sure they
Oh
took the
yeah,
mick out of them.
they did. Yeah, they did do Spitting Image as well of them,
Yeah.
and Jimmy Greaves was always pissed. Uh,
But the thing is, there were two massive names known for years. You know,
yeah.
do you know what your
Well,
time
for
that
those who
finished?
don't
What
know
year?
who Ian St John and Jimmy
Yeah.
Greaves are, so Ian St John was a legendary Scottish and Liverpool centre forward. Won everything at club level with Liverpool. Very handsome man as well. Looks a bit like Sean Connery if you look at younger pictures
Yeah.
of him. And also, his real name is John St John.
Oh wow, John
How
St.
mad's
John.
that? Yeah. So he obviously went by his middle name, which also means John, because Ian means John. So his name is John St John. If you were to speak that
Please
properly.
stop. Oh, John
Uh,
John.
John St John,
John
and
John St. John.
you then have the former England, Chelsea, and can't even say it. I'm going to be sick of my
Yeah,
mouth.
I know. We know.
Tottenham Hotspur. Oh God, centre forward Jimmy
Man.
Greaves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I feel so dirty for saying those words together.
This is why we
Um,
need Danny just to
yeah, he
say
needs to be able to
random Spurs
introduce.
words,
Yeah, I
and just
can't.
cut and
Oh,
paste them in.
yeah, I feel so sick. But this was a really pioneering television series for football because it took football out of the thing of being spoken about, but by critics and things like that, and it became more of a light-hearted football entertainment show.
I didn't watch it. Back then I was not bothered about football. Age 6. Well,
Okay,
5, 6.
I was, and my dad was as well. So I used to have to watch it, but I used to really enjoy it. But yeah, it was really, really good. But yeah, it did, like I say, it did pioneer making football more than just about the football. It did become this entertainment show, which was funny at times as well. But they did speak about the current events of the football and things like that. But they would also bring in a bit of humor and things and do some little skits and stuff, which was good. That actually ran for 7 years as well, which is longer than I remember it running.
Odd.
So
Yeah,
all
that's
the way
well,
until
yeah, but that's going up until the advent of the Premier League. So,
Oh
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
what's it called as well? Soccer
Soccer
AM.
AM, yeah. Which
So
wouldn't
I
I don't think
suppose
Soccer AM or fantasy football or anything like that would have happened without St.
totally
Reason.
going from what you were saying about the show being a bit more light-hearted, not just showing like highlights of football matches with a bit of a breakdown afterwards, because you
Yeah,
have match of the day for that. So to have a different football show, and bearing in mind as well, you didn't get that many televised matches, so people would obviously get to hear from players, ex-players, managers, and things. So yeah, it's sort of like it filled a gap that was there, definitely.
yeah. Absolutely. It also had like a cartoon intro from what I remember as a kid.
I'm going to be looking on YouTube for some of these clips, I think,
Yeah.
on this one.
So then also on ITV on the 21st of October was the introduction of the children's television show, which is kind of like a spin-off from TVAM's school day slot, was Wacaday, which starred Timmy
Yes.
Mallet and his big mallet. And yeah, he'd have different guests on and also present like cartoons and things during his show. And yeah, you'd go the kids. There would be a thing where they do mallets and mallet, which they'd have to do a word association game where you mustn't pause and mustn't hesitate, otherwise you get a whack on the head like this or like this.
I loved that so much.
How do I remember that after all these years? I do not
I
know.
don't know, but I always
Especially
think
because I
like
hate Timmy Mallet.
the whole whack plaster has been stuck in my head when you just
Yes.
basically have
And you
a
got to do
daft face
your,
drawn onto it
yeah.
and
And
put
you
it
had
on
to
your
do a
chin.
wiggle with it, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But he came to
Because,
West Horton where I lived for West Horton Carnival back in
yeah.
about 87, 88, and everyone was going mad. It was Timmy Mallet mania.
So
Um,
I saw Timmy
yeah.
Mallet for real in a McDonald's in Guildford. This would have been in 88, 89. And I remember seeing he came in, he's quite short, and he came in with two leggy blondes on his arm.
It sounds so Alan Partridge, it's untrue,
Yeah.
but go on.
It was, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go and get his autograph. So I grabbed some napkins from the side at McDonald's and went over to him. I was like, "Excuse me, Mr. Malik, can I have your autograph, please?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's £20." And I was like, "What?" I was like,
Why?
"Okay, I don't
Leave
want
me
your."
alone.
Yeah, I was like, "Okay, I won't bother then."
Oh my God.
Yeah, I went back to my mum and dad, and they said, "Did you get his autograph?" And I was like, "No, he asked for 20 quid." And my dad was like, "Wanker." I was like, "I think
Oh
that's the
God,
first
he
time I ever
asked you
heard
for
my dad
20
say it."
quid.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry. I thought for a split second you said he gave you £20 to like go away. Oh, wow.
No,
He
he
asked for
asked
20
me for
quid.
£20 for
That's
his autograph,
absolutely shocking.
and
And
£20
you
in
think that's back in
'89.
the 80s? I know
I
exactly.
know,
Who the fuck does he think he is?
I know. It's like, mate, you're going to McDonald's with two leggy blondes. I mean, come on, show some class at
I
least
wonder if
with
it
a
was a
kid.
Twinsome Funhouse and Pat Sharp wasn't
No,
aware of it.
I would have recognised
You
that.
know. But yeah, like without Michaela Strachan and Tommy Ball, it'd be no. Was it Tommy Ball?
Tommy
It
Boyd.
was, but Tommy Boyd, yeah, Tommy Ball's the
Yeah,
one from Cannonball. Yeah, Tommy Boyd. It'd be no one anyway.
yeah.
And I would just bring back the Wide Awake Club.
Yeah, that was much better. So yeah, that's my Timmy Mallet memory.
God,
So on
that's
channel
ridiculous.
yeah, Channel 4 on the 6th of October saw the debut of Pob's program. You must remember Pob.
And then he'd spit all over the
Yeah,
screen and wipe it off. Well, he'd do
yeah,
that and then write put up. Yeah. I
yeah,
had a mate who used to do this really, really good impression of it. A lot better than my rubbish impression then. And we just kept going, do your pop impression. We thought it was hilarious, but we were 7 or 8 at the time.
yeah. We used to always do it as kids as well. Like pull your ears out and puff your cheeks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The show
yeah.
makes no sense. I mean, it must be aimed at like really, really young kids. I can't
It
remember
was.
like
It
what
was
the
aimed at much
point of
younger
it
kids.
was.
Yeah. But
Like
that
preschool.
was the first production from Ragdoll Productions.
What did Ragdoll Productions do?
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, they did Rosie and Jim, Brum,
Oh,
Tots
right. Yeah.
TV,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Teletubbies, yeah, Boo Bars. So
Boo
yeah,
bars.
yeah.
Christ, they look
Oh,
weird.
and worldwide, they also did the worldwide release of In the Night Garden. So,
Wow. Okay.
so yeah. So Ragdoll Productions, that was their first foray into that. There were people at the company who did stuff prior to that, but yeah, that was their big push. So that's television out of the way. So video games, we have one video game that was released in the UK this month, and that is the arcade release of Gauntlet.
A good
Which,
game.
if you can Adam and or Eve this, it debuted one whole month before it did in America.
Finally, we got something early.
We got Gauntlet first, and I absolutely adore Gauntlet in the arcade.
They've got him at Arcade Club. I'm sure it's Gauntlet 1 and not like any of the sequels.
Yeah,
But my God, that game gets tough, I think.
it does.
It
It gets
really
really
does.
hard. My
Because
dad
of
and
all the
I,
monster generators.
yeah, my dad and I used to. I'm pretty sure we had it on the. I think we did have it on the Spectrum, and I do remember my dad and I passing the pad around, and him getting really frustrated at it and things. But yeah, it was really good. So the game itself is based off of Atari's own game called Dandy they made on the Atari 8-bit computers.
I never played that.
I've played it on a ROM not too long ago. It's all right. It's not as good as Gauntlet, but you can see where Gauntlet comes from in terms of its
Yeah.
DNA from Dandy. But yeah, it's a so for people who don't know, it's a 4-player co-op dungeon crawler. You each select a class, and then you go through and you try and get the keys to unlock the next stage. And it was a lot of fun. Now it's kind of, been there, done that. But there was a reimagining of Gauntlet, reboot really of Gauntlet back in, what would I say, 2014, 15, maybe even 16
On a PS4.
on PS4.
Yeah,
From
I did play
Arrowhead.
that bit.
So it's from Arrowhead, the people
Yeah,
who made Helldivers 2. And yeah, I really liked that reboot
I know
of
you did. I
Gauntlet.
remember chatting
Yeah.
to you about that. I was just like, I didn't spend too much time on it. Like, the only Gauntlet game I've hammered was the second one, and that was on the Atari ST because it came with it. And I know, obviously, you've had other Gauntlet games, but I still think most first couple are of the time. But obviously, it's known as well, for the digitized speech and everything, with like warrior
Yeah.
needs food,
Yeah.
elf
Oh
needs
yeah.
food.
So the classes are warrior, wizard, Valkyrie, and elf. So just
Yes,
before I
I
forget
was
about
trying to
mentioning
remember
those.
them all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah. So I think I probably bought a lot of versions of Gauntlet over the years, because I remember buying Gauntlet 2 on the NES and using the 4-player adapter like twice
yeah,
with it.
yeah.
I definitely bought Gauntlet 2. Do you remember when the PS3 first launched? They had a load of those games, the old arcade games released as well. So there was
Yes,
Rampart, Gauntlet 2 was another one. I remember getting those when I got my PS3. And yeah, I played a lot of Gauntlet 2 and 2-player.
Yeah,
one
no,
of
I do.
the
I do.
most played games for about 6 months on the PS3. Poor PS3.
Yeah, the old Atari type games.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
so
So anyway, Gauntlet, very good,
yes, yes,
very good.
I will end
So
up playing that again at Arcade Club.
yeah,
Definitely.
you should. It's a really good game. So let's move on to the news then. So on the 28th of October, production of the Peugeot 309 begins at the Ritten car factory near Coventry. The 309, a small family hatchback, is the first foreign car to be built in the UK.
Okay.
Yeah. It was Owen was originally going to be badged as the Talbot Arizona, but Peugeot decided that Talbot badge will be discontinued on passenger cars after next year. And then on the 30th of October, unemployment is reported to have risen to nearly 70% of the. Oh, hold on. Unemployment has risen to nearly 70% of the Conservative held seats since October 1984.
God, that's insane. 70% unemployment.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Fantastic times.
There we
So,
go. Mid
well,
80s bleakness.
yeah. We'll have a quick break and we'll come back into the year that's a little bit more fun 1995.
Gauntlet, the new fantasy adventure from Atari Games. The most fun a quarter can buy.
Hello, welcome to the In 1995. It's actually a very good year this year to talk about the month of October. Wouldn't you agree, Paul?
Oh, definitely. Movies, even the music isn't too bad. And yeah, a few games as well. So
Yeah.
it's a good one. But again, mid 90s, my favorite era, mid 90s.
Well, the world wasn't shit then, so that was good.
No, no.
Okay, so
Full of
first off,
hope.
we'll start off with the movies. So we'll start with Assassins, which is the action movie from Richard Donner, which stars Sylvester Stallone, Antonio Banderas, and Julianne Moore. Have you seen this one?
When it came out, because I quite fancied Julianne Moore. Um,
Well, I fancied
but I can't remember much
Antonio
about
Banderas.
it with
So,
his long hair. I know. Well,
and
this
those
is
piercing
when
brown
he
eyes.
was on his way up, wasn't he? You know, because it's soon after Desperado and everything. So he was
Well,
really getting noticed.
Desperado wasn't out yet, was it?
Oh, was
Because
he not? I
it
thought that was
was, it
94.
was, but it wasn't. It was one of those
Ah,
ones where it had come out
okay.
but hadn't come out. It wasn't very widely
Ooh,
distributed or
okay.
anything. So Assassins was really his breakout movie.
Right, because he
The one
wasn't
where
in
people,
Thingy for long.
yeah,
Interview with a Vampire.
yeah.
You know.
But again, he wasn't the
Mm.
main star, was he? Whereas
No,
this
no,
one,
I
he's
know,
like
no,
sort of
no.
billing with Stallone.
He
So
was
this is
massive at
also
the time.
the movie that gives us the GIF of Banderas looking at a computer screen and then biting his fist. So that's
Oh
from
my
this.
god.
Also, this movie was written by the Wachowskis.
Oh, right, okay. I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
there we go. But they did say though that they felt that their script was completely rewritten by Brian Helgeland, so they weren't actually too happy about that, even though they are credited still in the movie. So yeah. So the movie though is about it's Sylvester Stallone wanting to retire or something, isn't it? And then gets
Again, I'm never going to remember this because it's been 30, well, probably almost 30 years since I watched it. Because I remember having Sky Cinema or Sky Movies at the time and then being excited to finally get to watch it.
yeah, and it's because Banderas is like this up and coming assassin, isn't he? And he wants to kill Stallone so that he becomes the number one assassin.
Mm.
So from
Yeah,
what I
I've never,
remember,
it's never jumped out at me to want to watch it again, though. Do you know what I mean?
I
It's not
kind of do
like,
now because I'm talking about it. I'm like, I do remember actually really enjoying that, so I might try and watch that again. But who knows where you can watch it these days, other than on
there'll
the
be
hype.
somewhere. I know where you can watch the next film, though.
Under
I'm
Siege
almost
2.
certain. Yes, I'm sure it's on Disney because I watched the first one
Oh, it
again
was
a
a
few
Fox
months
movie.
ago.
So yeah, it would be.
Oh God, Under Siege 2. Jesus Christ. I watched it once and I was so excited to watch this because I loved the first film because I do like a good terrorist takeover film, with the bad guys being picked off one by one. And obviously,
And
Casey
this time it's on a
Ryback.
train.
Yeah, this time it's on a train, and it's his daughter who gets kidnapped, if I'm
Hmm.
remembering this correctly. No, Tommy Lee Jones is a bad guy, which is a shame because he played a
Yeah.
really good bad guy in the first film, and I can't even tell you who plays the bad guy in this because it's that
Yeah, I
unmemorable.
can't remember. I don't remember this movie. If you were to ask me about the first one, I'll be like, yeah, I know there's a
Yeah,
girl
yeah,
comes out.
yeah,
What's her face from Baywatch pops out from a cake.
yes, everyone remembers
Um,
that.
yeah, I
Got
remember
to.
that. Yeah, but that's about it really for me. I remember. I was it executive decision the following year or was it the same year?
Yeah, that's where he's in it with Kurt Russell,
But he's in
and
it for like
then
2 minutes.
yeah, he's in it for 2 minutes, and that's about it. But
But
with
he's on
Unsiege
the
2,
poster,
it's
like
oh yeah,
with
he's yeah,
Russell,
yeah,
like main. Yeah. So I'm
oh
trying to
yeah, yeah,
avoid
it's
talking
top
about Under
billed.
Siege 2. Like, so.
Oh no, I know, no, you go down. I'm sure it's something like codes for bombs and something like that, But the typical sort of 90s
Yeah.
action film back then.
I
But
grew.
his star was still quite high at this
Yeah, but
point. It only started to fade like a year or two later.
I was already bored of Seagal by this point.
No, his high points, I would say, are 88 to, we'll say 92, 93.
Yeah.
But it was basically, this is your dregs of your big action stars because Arnie was on his way out of the action films and doing more family stuff. Van Damme was starting to go into his shit career as
Well, I
well
think he was
because
very, very, very addicted to cocaine by that point.
oh yeah, well that does it. So I've heard.
Yeah.
So those sort of action movie stars. Because remember, we're only a couple of years off. Nicolas Cage being seen as a new one when he did Rock, Face Off, and Con Air. The Nick Cage Holy Trinity. God's teeth back in Trinity. I absolutely love all three of those films because
Yeah.
and then I was like, well, all my 80s and early 90s action stars have all gone shit. Watching films like Van
Well,
Damme
I
in
don't know if
Knockoff,
they
Van
became
Damme in
shit.
Quest.
What I think happened is our tastes refined
I don't
as we
know
got older. No,
because
I do. I think that
because
because
I to a point, but I watched Hard Target fairly recently from 1993,
don't
and
tell me you like
that
that.
film is I think it's a good film
Oh
done by John
Jesus.
Woo. The
Yeah, but
thing
it's
is, though,
John Woo's worst movie of. Oh, it's so
yeah,
bad.
it's his first UK, not UK, first US
English
film.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
English movie. But honestly, I quite liked Hard Target. I mean, granted, if you speed up the slow motion scenes, it only lasts about half an hour. But apart from that, I honest to God, no, I really, really like
Oh,
Hard Target.
I hate Hard Target so much. I prefer Time Cop, and I don't even like Time Cop.
Oh wow! What about Sudden Death? That was his last big one
Man,
at the
you know
cinema
what?
when it was.
Sudden Death. I would love to play a video game about based around sudden death.
Yeah,
Like where you've got
yeah,
terrorists taking over an ice hockey, like a big arena, right? And it's kind of like a Hitman style thing where you're going around, you're like trying to defuse the bombs and kill. Oh, blimey, kill the guards, save your daughter, that sort of stuff. Be all over
yeah,
that, and then maybe like a Blades of Steel style mini game as well.
yeah. Where you're just beating people up on the ice and
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
Yeah, it could work. You just need
yeah.
that time machine now to go and pitch it to Ocean. Um,
Well,
back then.
back then that would be crap because the graphics would be terrible. But if you did it like now with like proper photorealistic, yeah, and things, and yeah, I think that'd be really cool
There we
with
go.
the
The game
fidelity.
no one asked for in
Mate, you could pick
2026.
up that license dirt cheap for
Yeah,
for sudden
yeah.
death.
I'd say it's to celebrate 30 years of Sudden Death
Yeah,
starring Van Damme.
yeah.
Yeah, there we go. And Van Damme's put his likeness in for 50p.
I don't know because he was in like Mortal Kombat and stuff recently.
Oh, bye. Oh, Christ. Okay,
So
let's move on.
yeah, let's move on to Pocahontas. Disney again. This time they take on the Legend of Pocahontas. Pocahontas it stars Joe Baker, Christian Bale, Irene Bedard. Who's the voice of the main character? Is it Mel Gibson?
I don't
It
know.
is, isn't it?
I've
It is.
never
It's
got
Mel
into
Gibson. It is. It's Mel Gibson. He plays John Smith, doesn't he?
Right, okay. I've
Yeah.
not watched Pocahontas. I've never
Billy
fancied it.
Connolly's in it as well. So
Okay.
it's a good. It's
No.
decent. It is quite a decent movie. It's just another one of those ones where she's meant to be like the one, and yet he still saves the day, like, and still like the main character, like John Smith. And you're
Well,
like,
yeah, it's putting in like a strong female lead. Starting to move towards that.
yeah, but they
Um,
don't go fully committal with it. They
no,
go,
because they can't, because it's
uh,
1995.
I
You'd only
know,
really
but
get that in Mulan, and the only
yeah,
reason you get that in Mulan is because that's part of the actual story. And then it's really about another 10 years on when you get to things like Tangled and,
yeah, yeah.
Brave and things like that. You know, so by
Yeah. Sorry,
1995, I
I
think
was
it's
reaching for
quite
the moon too
advanced.
soon there, wasn't I?
Oh yeah, yeah, easy,
Yeah.
easy. But no,
Um,
I've never fancied this because I was like 16 at the time. Um, I was just about to
See,
turn
I
16.
I had been a Disney fan my entire life, so I watched every Disney movie at the cinema as soon as I could. Like, but I don't know why. Even if it was one like Pocahontas and stuff, I'd still want to go and see it because I like that. I didn't like Hunchback of Notre Dame the first time I saw it, and then when I saw it the second
No,
time, I absolutely loved it, which was
I
really weird.
totally agree. I totally agree because we watched that about probably 15 years ago when we just got back from Paris. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to give it another try. And I really enjoyed it. It made me laugh quite a bit,
Yeah, I think
So
I didn't get some of the humor when I was younger, but I loved it then. But Pocahontas though, so in comparison to Black Cauldron, so Pocahontas had a budget of $55 million and managed to take in $346 million.
wow, that's quite a hit. But have you
Yeah,
noticed as well, only 10 million more, despite it being 10 years on?
yeah,
You know, that just
yeah.
shows it. Crazy money on Black
Mel
Cauldron.
Gibson would have got most of that as well.
Just a quick thing on Black Cauldron. I've never played it, but there was an Amiga game on it as well, Amiga and Atari ST game.
No,
But I've never played it.
I
Just
haven't
it's
either.
years ago when I was doing a piece on film tie-ins. But yeah, anyway, again, Disney then were in a very, very different state,
They
you
were.
know.
So let's
Well,
move on
mind
to the
you,
next movie then.
the way the new Tron film has just been shut down, people are saying that Disney are about to go into another downward spiral. But
They've been in one for quite a while. They have.
I know.
It's even like Pixar have not had a hit for a long time either, which is strange because their stuff's
No.
actually been consistently good.
But speaking of tech, let's
Speaking
go
of
back to
technology,
1995 technology with the
so
net.
The Net, starring Sandra Bullock as our
Yes.
leading lady in this movie, where she is she comes into she comes into the evidence of a popular, what is he? Is it a defense attorney or something? Like commits
I only
suicide,
watched this a couple of years ago as well because we covered it for Pixel Addict, talking
but it's
about
not.
the tech of the net.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of I
Because is it
remember
on a
that, and
disc? Is it
yeah,
like on a disc
it's on
or
a
a little
floppy
drive?
disk. It's on a floppy
Yeah.
disk. Yeah, and she comes into possession of it, and then her life's in danger. And yeah, there's even one great scene where she's sitting at a beach with her laptop on her lap on the internet.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, why? What? When did Wi-Fi happen?
No, I know. That part we commented on in the mag, and then also we were showing the early days of ordering a pizza over the internet.
Oh
I think
yeah,
there's meant
yeah,
to be one scene there where she can order food, you know, to whatever it is, like Domino's or whatever the pizza chain is. So yeah, we had a quick look at the technology and how it panned out, and yeah, the Wi-Fi on the beach was quite remarkable. But
yeah.
again, I quite like those sort of thrillers, around the time, where you're like, oh, it's someone in danger, you've got to outsmart the criminals, you've got to survive. I was on about this to customer at work the other day. I need to give more 70s political thrillers more of a go after watching things like 3 Days of Condor. I need to watch, stuff like, All the President's Men, those sort of classic
All of them.
sort of thrillers. Yeah, all of them. All of them. And I just think, like, when I know you hate this film, because I think we've mentioned it before, coming up in 1996, Chain Reaction.
I don't hate it. I just don't
Oh, you
like
don't
it.
hate it, just
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
It's
again, when
watchable. It's
people
watchable.
when it's like an everyman and he's got to obviously be on the run and try and survive, I quite like that. That's why I quite liked the original Die Hard, because that was just like an everyman is having to try and survive and take people down and um, stop a plot basically.
Yeah.
And it's just when they're all superheroes and nothing will kill them. It takes the sort of threat out of it. Whereas something like
Yeah.
Sandra Bullock here, it's like she's got shadowy people after her. You're like going, oh my God, is she going to get away? Is she going to get, is she going to blow the whistle? It keeps you guessing,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
hoping, and yeah, I feel like it's a genre that's not, really done at the moment. I mean, I'm sure it'll make massive comeback at some point. They always do, don't they?
Yeah, I'm sure they will eventually. But yeah, like I really I enjoyed watching it. I just
Yeah.
like I say, you switch your brain off, you watch it, you know.
Yeah, not a classic, but I think
Not a
I
classic.
don't think it's one of those where you go, I'm not wasting my time.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
So the next movie, one
Next.
you definitely won't be wasting your time to watch, and that is Clueless, the hilarious teenage comedy with Alicia Silverstone, Paul Rudd, Brittany Murphy, Breckin Meyer, what's his face from Scrubs is in it as well.
Oh,
The one who
what,
plays Turk in Scrubs.
not
I
coming
forget
to me.
his. I can't remember his real name, but yes, he's in it as well. Is it Donald Faison? Is that it?
I, God knows. I have watched this, but again on release when I really, really fancied Alicia Silverstone, like everyone else did, and being 15, 16, going, God, imagine going out with her. That'd be amazing. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
something I've only ever watched once. But I know it's still like, we make a big deal like when it's had its 30th anniversary and things like that. It's sort of like like how Mean Girls was 10 years on.
Yeah.
It's like seen as like a fantastic high school movie.
Yeah, it is, and
But I
there's
don't
so
remember
many.
enough about it. I just know
No,
that
but there's
she's
so
just
many
clueless.
good moments in this movie. But I love it. So there was a spin-off TV series as well, which came
Yeah, I
a bit
remember
later.
that. I didn't watch that.
No, I didn't either. So let's move on then to the next movie, which is 9 Months, which is Hugh Grant and your girl again, Julianne Moore.
I know, but I didn't actually watch this, despite
Robin
really
Williams
liking
as
Julianne
well as the
Moore.
Doctor.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I remember seeing the trailer, but no, not one that I've ever watched. Never ever.
Yeah, so the thing is that Hugh Grant's in this long-term relationship, isn't he? And she then says she's pregnant. That's right, isn't it?
I'm guessing so. I
Yeah.
bet he's got 9 months to get his shit together.
Basically, yeah. And yeah, he doesn't want kids, but then over time he softens, that sort of thing. Yeah, it's one that you can waste your time to watch because it's not great. It's not great. So next one is Mortal Kombat. Liu Kang. Sorry, yeah. That's so the movie of the games Mortal Kombat, which arrived probably 2 years too late. And yes,
No chance. 2 years
I
too
th
late, really?
yeah.
What,
What
so you
was the
think the
first one?
film should have come
92?
out? No, 93?
Was it 93?
The first
Okay.
game. Yeah.
Okay, 94 then. It's a year late.
Oh, God's sake. Yeah, it takes longer than 2 minutes to film,
I don't know
a
if you've watched this
masterpiece.
movie. That didn't take long to film.
I showed some clips to Theo when Mortal Kombat characters were in Fortnite. I
Yeah.
showed him a bit of Johnny Cage fighting Scorpion. And
Oh
he
yeah,
looked at it and just started laughing. I was like, "What? It's a 15s. Do you not think it's gory and scary?" And it's just like showing the CGI of the snake thing coming out of a Scorpion's hand. You're like, "Oh God."
yeah.
Yeah. The
Obviously, it had
soundtrack's great. The soundtrack's
soundtrack's
amazing.
great, it's banging. But you got Christopher Lambert as
Yeah.
Raiden or Raiden. Was he
Yeah.
Raiden? Is it Raiden?
Raiden. I
It's
always say
Raiden.
Raiden.
So would I,
Raiden.
because I would say
Raiden.
Gaiden as well.
Yeah.
And but my heart and longings was for Talisa Soto as Katana.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was all I cared about when I watched that
It's just,
movie.
do you know what? Seriously, watching this film though, like having a stop motion Goro and things, I just was like, I don't know. Obviously, Mortal Kombat 3 was out the same year because they were doing one a year.
Yeah,
And I think it was a case of this is one reason why they had to rush out Mortal Kombat 2, that Annihilation, to get some of the characters from 2 and 3 in there as well. But at the end of the day, there's only so much you can do with the storyline of Mortal Kombat because it's quite easy. I mean, I have recently seen the trailer for the Mortal Kombat 2 new one coming out. I
mm,
think it's this month or maybe next month, and that actually looks quite good. And they've made it very very tongue in cheek because he made the because Johnny Cage is coming into the world of Mortal Kombat, and
yeah. Carl Urban.
yeah, and they did like all these fake 90s action film trailers, so obviously we made him like a bit of a Van Damme type character. So
Yeah,
I think it'll be a fun watch, but it's not the type of thing I'd go and rush to go and
no.
watch, you
But
know.
the original Mortal Kombat movie is about a million times better than Street Fighter movie.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. I mean, listen, I think it ticks the boxes, but that's all that Mortal Kombat movie is. It's just a box ticking exercise going, right, I've got in Sub Zero and Scorpion and the other characters. Yes, tick. I've got Kano in, who's just basically annoying.
yeah,
Is he Australian or something like that? And like he's got his like laser eye or whatever. And it's just like, right, are we going to see some of the finishing moves? Because I suppose the hands are tied with what they can actually do for visual effects as well. Is it because the effects aren't great, but they just made sure that you get to see your favourite characters from the game. That's all it
yeah.
is. You know,
That's what it is. It's there to sell merchandise, really.
I've seen worse. I've seen much worse.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's not guilty pleasure level, but it's one of those where you're gonna go. If someone's like younger than us and you go, listen, you've got to watch this film because it's so shit, it's watchable. I'm not saying it's good, but it's just about watchable. And it's not on for
yeah.
that long anyway, you know.
No.
So next up
But
with To
the
Die
next movie,
For.
To Die For, this now I was madly in love with Nicole Kidman at this point.
I know, same here. Again, it's the ginger
I
hair
was
again.
like,
Um,
and I was thinking to myself, I'm so much taller than Tom Cruise. Like, I could make you so much more happy than
and
Tom
I'm
ever
thinking
could,
I'm
Nicole.
exactly the same height as Tom Cruise. So if he's in with a chance, so am I. I don't think I've grown since being about 15, 16.
He
But
hasn't
yeah,
either, so you're okay.
is this the one where she's is it a news reporter, a weather girl?
Yeah, so she wants to become even more famous as a
Yeah.
celebrity, and she does nefarious things to reach that goal. It is a black comedy, and it
Yeah.
does and I can't remember this being done much earlier, but it does the mockumentary style interviews with the characters in the film.
Yeah.
And a lot
Yeah.
of it is Nicole Kidman doing monologues to the camera, which is really, really weird, right? For like 95, because you're looking at like things like The Office and stuff come much later, you know.
Is it Gus Van Sant?
It is Gus Van Sant, yeah,
Yeah.
from Good Will Hunting, and was it My Own Private Idaho as well?
Yeah.
Another one of
Yeah.
his movies, yeah,
A very good filmmaker. So this is what I
yeah,
mean. Those sort of things might be like groundbreaking at the time, but he's a director that knows what he's doing.
yeah.
You know.
Because the supporting cast's really good as well with Joaquin Phoenix and Matt Dillon.
Yeah, I'm
They're
about to say
really
Matt
good in
Dillon
this
as well.
movie.
Yeah, I've only watched this probably late 90s, but again, I liked it.
Yeah, I did. And I just, like I say, I was so in love with Nicole Kidman then. I would have I would have done anything for her. She just doesn't know it. She's definitely never met me. Anyway, let's move on then to the best movie of this month, and that is Canadian Bacon.
I've never seen this. Is this John Candy's last one? Oh no,
It
that was
is.
Wagon.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was this or Wagons East. I can't remember which one
Oh,
was
which
his
one came
last one.
first? But he was.
I know.
Yeah. Well, it's one of his last movies anyway, because he died the
Yeah.
year
Oh no,
before.
for sure,
So,
for sure.
But yes, so this movie was released like a year or so after his death. Because he died in 94, didn't he? Didn't die in 95.
Yeah, I think it was 94.
Yeah. Let me just double check that.
I know. I
yeah,
was doing exactly the same.
94. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've just had a John Candy documentary just come out. Or it's due to come out anyway.
But
yeah, 94.
This is a fantastic comedy. Like, absolutely brilliant. Alan Alda's in it as well. He's fantastic.
Yeah, this is his
John
last
Nunn.
film.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. His final film though.
Yeah. I know. So sad. But it's a good one to go out on. It's a really, really, really good one. So yeah, it's how to describe this movie really. So it's it's a failing businessman, right? Who's like a military businessman who's like closing down his plant and stuff. Tries to like get a war going, doesn't he?
This I'm just looking at now.
Yeah.
What a cast!
Oh, it's a fantastic one, yeah.
Oh my god, I need to watch this. I really, I know I say that quite a bit, and it takes me a while to watch it. But with this one, there's loads of people I recognise.
Yeah, but yeah, because so the president, from what I remember, is like really struggling in the polls and things like that. So decides to have a fight with Canada. So,
which just sounds ridiculous.
Sounds ridiculous until you have like the current president of the United States trying to pick fights with Canada. So yeah, but it's really fantastic. John Candy is just unbelievably good in it. I remember watching it and just thinking, I went to the cinema to watch it, and I do remember crying because I was thinking, I can't believe he's dead. Because when I saw he was dead in 94, I remember feeling sad because I loved John Candy's movies. But it wasn't until watching a movie that he made, and it was after his death that it was released, that's when I cried, because I was thinking, man, he never got to see this.
Yeah, it must be weird, you know. But don't you think, like, when people say, like, oh God, what's it called? Heath Ledger went as well.
Yeah.
You know, like, he'll never know how
impactful his role, his version of the Joker was. Yeah. But this is the thing. So this is a Michael Moore directed and written by movie. So everyone should know he's a documentary filmmaker, or filmmaker in general.
Yeah.
And this is like very telling that all it takes is for the wrong person to be in charge of the United States of America and the wrong things happen. And this is very prescient. He knew it. He knew it back then. All it takes is the one bad apple, and that's it. The country gets ruined. And that's what this movie is basically parodying, but without, foreshadowing, I guess, rather than parodying. Yeah. So yeah, Canadian Bacon, absolutely brilliant. One of my favourite John Candy movies. I'm just so sad he never got to see it. So let's move on to music. I can't believe we've only just got around to music of 1995.
Oh, no.
So the singles in 1995, we have two number ones, and that is Fairground by Simply Red. He's from your neck of the woods, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Manchester. Yeah, I'm not really into any Simply Red, but I know how big this song was.
Yeah, it was massive. Not as massive as Stars, though.
No, I know, but more upbeat than Stars. So you think I'd like it more, but no, just I think it's just
one thing I do like is that I do like that there's the ongoing tune, like the like the underlying bass. Not bass. Oh god, why can't I think of the word? Doesn't matter. Anyway, but it does sound like it is on a like a roller coaster tracks, because when it goes and I love the it's like it's going down a roller coaster, which is really
that's
clever.
what the music video is as well, isn't it? Because it's on the
I don't know, I've never seen the music video.
Have you not? Right, no, but it's on a roller coaster on the
oh right
on the music video.
But the song sounds like that.
I know, so I suppose
there we
that
go.
fits in quite well.
It does fit in quite well, but it does sound like that.
Um,
It's really clever how they've done that with the music. I will say that for them. Anyway, Gangster's Paradise is the other number one song from Coolio, who has
yes,
also sadly passed as well in the recent
yes.
years. Fantastic tune. I used to
Yeah,
listen
yeah,
to it a lot, and that
not too
album.
bad.
Too Hot was probably my favourite song from that album, though.
Couldn't tell you anything else off it. I just know that this was from, what was it, Dangerous Minds film? I
It
remember
was from
seeing
the
the
Dangerous Minds. I went to see that in
uh,
cinema, actually.
seeing the music video, and then obviously seeing Amish Paradise by Weird
Yes.
Al Yankovic,
Did I ever tell
which
the
I
story?
actually
I was in the
preferred.
cinema and I got chucked out. I was on a date with a girl and she started chucking minstrels at people's heads. Dangerous Minds was that movie where I was sitting next to this girl and she just started chucking minstrels at people's heads at the front.
Was she simple?
No, no, she was hot though. So I think
Oh
that
God!
there has to be a problem, right? I mean, if they're like smokingly hot and going out with me, that's like, oh, what's the catch? The catch
Must have
was she
found
was
out about
nuts.
your love of Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, but I was watching Michelle Pfeiffer, so not even close. So many albums. Daydream by
Yes.
Mariah Carey is one of the number ones of the month.
Couldn't even tell you what's on that.
Well,
You
Daydream's on
know.
it.
Right. Fair enough.
I'd
Next,
imagine. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. What's the Story? Morning Glory from Oasis. Small
second
band from
album,
up your neck of the woods,
massive.
aren't they?
Yeah, yeah, we've just had the 30th anniversary edition come in at work the other week, which is scary because I remember buying it first time
Yeah.
up in Glasgow from a music shop. Yeah, when I was seeing
What-
a girl up there
So
for a few months.
it must be. Was it '96 they did Nebworth?
Yeah,
So that's when I went to see. I went to see them at Nebworth in '96 then. And I wasn't a massive Oasis fan. I just got tickets because the girl I was going out with at the time wanted to go and watch. So we went to watch them. And I just started driving and stuff. So I was pretty.
and then she started chucking minstrels at heads, going, "Why? Why
Oh,
do I keep picking these women throwing
no,
minstrels at
no,
people's heads?"
she was not that crazy. Yeah, I won't say her fault on here. It's not classy. Anyway, so we were there, and I remember thinking, I'm not a massive fan of Oasis. I'd much rather be watching, Blur or Supergrass or someone right now. And then the beginning of What's the Story, Morning Glory, that
Yeah, yeah.
when that started playing and going around the arena, like just through all the speakers, the hairs on the back of my neck went up, and I was like, "Fuck, that's really good." I don't,
Oh no,
yeah,
I think it's a
it's really good.
fantastic album. This, I
Um,
really do like it. Said that for years. The first few Oasis albums, if you include Master Plan, are really, really good. Be Here Now is average, and then after that, they just go downhill.
yeah. So next one is "Life" by Simply Red. I wouldn't be able to tell you another song they did other than Fairground.
No, 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 not my
So
sort of thing.
that's it for the music then, and let's move on to television, where we only have one show this month. And that was on Channel 4 on the 23rd of October. And that was the debut of the long-running Hollyoaks.
Is that still going?
Uh, I don't know if it's still going.
I don't know.
Yeah, apparently. It's apparently still going. Yeah.
My God,
Because apparently it finished in 2024 but came back. Did not know that.
like Neighbours. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was created by Phil Redmond, who created Brookside previously for Channel 4.
Yeah,
And this is
I've
set in
never
Chester.
ever watched it because it was like younger people, wasn't it? But a little bit older than me at the time, so I think they were like
Yeah, my sister
1920,
was
in
into
20s.
it, so I used to watch it when it was on, and she was watching it. All I remember is like there was one guy, Tony, I think his name was, like Nick Pickard. He's also in the song for Super Mario, the Roxette song, Almost Unreal.
Oh yeah,
He's in that video as well, Nick
okay.
Pickard. Um, which is the only person in that video, I think. And yeah, Tony Hutchinson is the name of the character. And I remember I hadn't watched it for years, right? And it came on because someone left the telly on one evening, probably about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. And I saw him in it. I was like, how's he still in it from the beginning?
My God. I suppose though
Absolutely
you're
insane.
set for life, aren't you? If your character's liked in a soap, and
Yeah,
we're going to touch on some of that very soon as well. Looking
yeah.
at the news, but yeah, you're set for life.
You are, yeah, it's true. So next, then we have video games for this month. There are two video releases. The first one being Hexen Beyond Heretic, which has just recently been released. Remastered, I guess, for modern platforms.
Yeah, is it the Night Dive Studios doing it by any chance? Because they
Yeah,
seem
I'm
to be
pretty
doing
sure.
every single game around that time, all your FPSs and stuff.
I'm pretty sure it was released, wasn't it, recently?
I can't recall. I'll be honest, because I see so many games being re-released from
Yes, it
from this
was.
era.
Yeah, it was released in a bundle called the
Is it done
Heretic
by
plus
Night
Hexen,
Dive?
and it is Night Dive Studios,
Yeah.
and it was released on the Xbox One, Windows, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and the Nintendo Switch. And it was published by Bethesda. So
I only played this a little bit because I had a PC at the time,
yeah,
and I think a demo of it came with my PC. Because I remember it was like it had, I think, Warcraft 2 on it, this Hexen, and a couple of other playable demos. So, but around this time, everyone's playing Doom, and then obviously you got Wolfenstein from a couple of years earlier than that. But then you think like Quake and Duke Nukem are just around the corner as well, so it didn't really
well,
do anything
not just
for me.
that. I mean, the Hexen's really good. It really is
Because
good.
it was medieval time, wasn't it? So
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
medieval Doom, basically.
It is really good. There's so many really good shooters around that period. One of my favorites is what is it? The Triad one.
Oh, as a triad.
Rise of the Triad. Yes, that's it. I
Yeah.
absolutely adored that when I was growing up. I thought it was brilliant. Obviously, my favorite one of that period though was Exhumed. That one was incredible.
Yeah, came out
Oh, was it Power
Saturn.
Slave, isn't it?
Uh, yeah, Power Slave,
Yeah.
known as that. So
Yeah.
again, that had a reissue a few
Yeah,
years ago.
I bought that like three times, the
You know,
reissue. Every time I see it go on sale on the platform, I'm like, well, okay, I'll play it on there as well. That was a very early example of a 3D Metroidvania style game. Like it was really Metroidy. But we're forgetting about Hexen there, aren't we? So,
yes,
but yeah, Hexen is a fantastic first-person shooter, but with a twist of being more medieval. I really should pick up the remaster because I do like those games very, very much. The other game released is Destruction Derby on the PlayStation.
that was the
This
other
game was
demo
so
that I
good.
got with the PC.
Yeah.
I was like trying to think of something, but yeah, I
So
do love
Destruction
this.
Derby was from. Sorry, one thing I should have mentioned. I've mentioned my love of Raven Software before, and Raven Software were the developers behind Hexen. Yeah, Raven Software are my. I just absolutely love their game so much. Anyway, Destruction Derby.
Destruction
This was
Derby. Yes,
this was from Reflections, but published by Psygnosis.
yes.
Reflections who were going to create the Driver series as well.
Based up in the northeast, I think.
They
No,
are in.
maybe.
They are from the
Yeah.
Toon. Yeah,
Yes.
Toon. Black and White Army.
Yeah, so again, Destruction Derby, even when I play it now, I think it's quite basic, but on release, I was really excited when I finally got to play this, because it was like smashing your cars up
Yeah,
and you could still drive them around. Because obviously, I'd not really seen any other driving games like this. Because granted, you'd always had rally games and arcade races, but I'd never played something where you could literally just be the whole idea is to drive around and be the last car standing.
yeah,
It just felt different. This was the reason why a lot of us went for PlayStation, and it was a big jump to this generation. Like the type of games were changing, and you could do new things, with them. Because I remember seeing it in the magazines, being quite excited to, try and play this. And again, because it wasn't like an arcade conversion, say something like Ridge Racer. Um,
yeah.
that's why I was more excited. And again, I was never great at racing games, so I thought with this I might be better at Smashy Crash.
Yeah, I downloaded it onto my Vita the other day just to give it another go. And yeah, it's really dated now.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
but
Destruction
at the
Derby 2
time,
followed straight after it, more or
yeah,
less.
but
You
at the
know,
time, it was really really good. And like the impact of the cars and the smashing and stuff was just,
they'd
yeah,
done the
you hadn't seen it
homework.
before. Yeah, it
You
was
know,
good.
but yeah, they'd done the homework, and obviously they shouted about like, oh, if you get hit here, you're gonna see damage from this angle, and like all the impact points on the cars. Like you could see how much effort was going into games now. And again, Psygnosis was still fantastic as well, putting out a lot of big games. Before then Sony bought them,
Yeah.
and well, I know Sony owned them at the time, but closed them down. Eventually. Anyway,
So let's move on to the news then. So
yes.
on the 2nd of October, Manchester band Oasis, you might have heard of them, released their second studio album, What's the Story, Morning Glory, which proves to be one of the most successful albums of all time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just touched on
7th,
that.
yeah, 7th of October, Conservative MP Alan Hayworth defects to Labour, cutting the government's majority to just 7 seats.
Wow.
On the 9th of October, former Prime Minister Sir Alec Douglas Home dies aged 92 at his home in Coldstream in the Scottish Borders. 16th of October, Julie Goodyear, who joined the ITV soap opera Coronation Street as Bet Lynch in 1966, departs from the show.
This is what I mean. So, well, she's what?
29 years.
Yeah, 29 years. So it's one hell of a run. And again, she was an iconic character,
She was, yeah.
because she was always like brash, fag in her mouth, glass of
Always wearing
wine.
like a leopard print
Yeah,
top, from
yeah,
what I remember.
yeah.
Yeah.
That
I
that's
didn't
just
watch
it. She had a
Corrie, it was just
style.
on in the background when my mum
Well,
was
you were
watching it.
Southerner, weren't you? You had Emmerdale, and up
But
here
Emmerdale
they had
wasn't Southern.
not Emmerdale, sorry,
East
EastEnders.
End. Yeah.
Yeah, the other E.
I
you know, but yeah, yeah, I
think
don't
the,
know,
the
but I remember
Colbys
seeing it.
and the Colbys and Dynasty were more my speed.
Right, okay, okay. But no, I watched Coronation Street still around this time. My mum had been watching it since like the 70s, and it's just one of those characters you'll always know because it's like the old school characters when you think back. And obviously she was married to Alec in it. Why can't I think of his surname? But anyway, Alec Gilroy, and like it's those like volatile marriage type thing. And then back when you had people like Jack and Vera and that lot, it was just it was good. But yeah, a big moment when she went, definitely.
One not felt by me, unfortunately. So on the
No,
20th of October, Vauxhall unveils its new Vector range of large family hatchbacks, which replaces the long-running Cavalier. And they will be built in Luton.
oh, okay.
Yeah. On the 25th of October, we say goodbye to Cliff Richard because he becomes Sir Cliff Richard by getting a knighthood.
I can't believe he's been a knight for this long, and he's still popular. We get asked for his stuff quite a lot. At least he stopped doing those raunchy calendars every year now. After a few years ago, he said no more taking my top off for calendar shoots.
Oh, that's a shame.
I know, absolutely gutted.
But I was really gutted when he wasn't able to get number one in every decade.
Wow, yeah, that
I
would have
was
been
so gutted for him. I was like, that would be such an achievement from anyone if you can get a number one in each of the decades you're alive. And he didn't manage it, which is really sad. But there we go. Let's have a quick break and then we'll come back into the year 19, into the year 2005.
How far underground does a tube go? How does an orange peel when it has a crispy shell? I wonder what melts in the milk chocolate mouth. Is this the Red Sea, or am I just seeing red? Oh, what an arresting time.
Hello and welcome back to the year 2005. Paul, we're in 2005 now. Things are going to get shit from here.
Yeah, well, I just want one good month, because I'm sick of the descent into just averageness and then just shitness by 2015.
Yes, but the movies, there are some bangers this month. Okay, so first up we have Serenity, which is the follow-on to and the way that you close off the TV series Firefly, which was created by Joss Whedon, who we now know is a wrong'un. And yeah, it stars this crew who are on board this ship called the Serenity, hence the name of the thing, but Firefly is the name of the TV show. And yeah, it's basically about their last ride as a group. And yeah, it's just a fantastic like space western, and it
I've
just
never
follows the
watched it.
TV show, and it does round off
Oh.
the TV show so beautifully. And yeah, it does. It was really good. No one watched it, mate. No one watched it. That's why we don't have that sort of stuff anymore. Although it did make a very small profit at the box office. So it was made for $39 million, and it made back 40. So very small profit. And it's one of those movies that I do stick on every now and again, just to be back in that world, and experience those characters again. Even though one of the people who was in it is an absolute piece of shit. So we'll move on then to Kinky Boots. Now, Kinky Boots is a really cool comedy drama, which has also spawned a Broadway, not Broadway, West End musical.
Right. Okay.
And it's based in Northampton, where a shoemaker is asked if he can start making shoes for his friend who's called Lola, who's a drag queen, to try and save her business. So Charlie starts making custom footwear for drag queens rather than the men's shoes that his failing business has been previously doing. And yeah, it's got what's his face as the main character, Joel Edgerton. He plays Uncle Owen in the Star Wars
Yes.
series.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And it's a really good comedy drama. They've also got Nick Frost in there as well. So yeah, it's really cool movie. I love it. I haven't seen the musical yet. I will stress, because I do want to see it, because I do love the movie. You haven't seen this,
Not
have you,
one.
Paul?
No, not the type of thing that ever appealed to me at all. I remember it coming out, but I was like, nah. I don't even
Uh,
think I was actually watching that much by this point. Like I was probably end up playing more games, ironically, than watching films. Something that never happens anymore. But no, never seen this.
So this is the next one is Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, which is the first Wallace and Gromit movie, but the second movie made by the Aardman Animations team. So the first being Chicken Run.
Yeah, Chicken
And
Run. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I'll be honest, I haven't seen this one.
I've watched it once on release. Nothing's really jumping out because then they did was it Matter of Loaf and Death?
Yeah,
Or was
I've
that
seen
just
that. No, I haven't seen that. No,
or
which
was
one have
that
I
a
seen? I can't remember.
see again with the Wallace and Gromit stuff, because these are usually on TV quite often. Um and you're always guaranteed like a few laughs, but they're not something that I'm obsessed with. But I just felt like with this one, I had to give it a try. Like a few years earlier, when I was with my ex-wife, she absolutely loved Wallace and Gromit, and that sort of like rubbed off on me. And I found a picture of me from 1999 going out for a meal wearing a Wallace and Gromit tie, which sounds absolutely insane nowadays. Actually, wearing a tie to a restaurant.
Oh mate, I always suit up. I follow
Really?
Barney's. Yeah.
Oh no. I really, really don't at all. I'll put on like jeans and a smart shirt, but I won't wear like, a tie anymore and stuff like that. But no,
Sometimes I won't always. I don't always wear the tie. Sometimes I'll wear, a shirt with my top button open with a suit
yeah,
on.
but if you're going to wear a tie, it's going to be a serious tie. It's not going to be like a Wallace and Gromit tie or Bugs Bunny, the type of stuff that I used to have when I worked in an office. I sound like bloody Colin Hunt from Fast Show. Just wearing a load of wacky inverted commas ties. Just cartoon ties. Oh God, I sound like a dickhead. I really, really do. And granted, going back to like 2000, 2001. God, sorry, just having a moment of depression there. Let's move on to
Let's move on then to The Corpse
next one.
Bride. So The Corpse Bride is
Yes.
Tim Burton's Corpse Bride, which obviously stars Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter.
Yes. What
as
film doesn't?
all of his films do. But this is an animated one, or stop motion animation.
Yeah.
And it's a musical.
Yeah, I
And
can't believe it's 20 years old though. Like, I'm really surprised it's crept up to this.
time's slipping away, mate, and we're all going to die. So
I
there we
know,
go.
and this is like 10 years, obviously, after Nightmare Before Christmas, like
Yeah.
11 years before it, I think 94.
Yeah, it was.
No,
it was 93.
Oh, was it 93? Okay, so just
Yeah.
all right, we'll say just over a decade before it, which obviously became a cult classic. It was all eyes on this one because, again, apart from the very, very odd misstep, anything Tim Burton and Johnny Depp did was really, really good. And yeah, really enjoy this.
Not Lone Ranger.
Yeah, well, we used some of the music from it at our wedding.
The Lone
Yeah, that's
Ranger.
mine and yours. No, Corpse
The
Bride,
Corpse
not the
Bride.
Lone Ranger.
Okay.
I've totally ignored the Lone Ranger. God, I tried to watch that. I just turned it off. Plus, you wouldn't be able to watch it now with Arnie Hammer being a piece of shit.
Yes, he also is a piece of shit. How many celebrities are not pieces of shit?
I don't know.
It's getting fewer and fewer. It's
Exactly.
ridiculous. So we'll move on
Exactly.
then to Nanny McPhee, which is the comedy drama, I guess, fantasy movie, starring the amazing Emma Thompson, who's again just incredible in this.
Never
She's
watched
got.
this. Never
Have you not?
watched it.
It's
No,
actually really
I've
good.
never fancied it.
Your kids would really enjoy it.
I might watch it with them then. I might watch it with them because
So
I know she's like cut full of makeup. What's the premise?
So it's kind of like. So it's kind of like Mary Poppins, right? But not. But like, how am I going to sell this? So she's obviously a nanny in Victorian England in like the 1860s, and yeah, so she's oh god, so he gets in like, oh god, I'm trying to remember. I haven't seen this for like 20 years, but yeah, she goes and moves in to help out a family, kind of like Mary Poppins, but it's from the guy's a widower.
Okay.
So and it's really good. It's got so many good people in it as well, like Colin Firth, Kelly MacDonald. It's got Angela Lansbury in it as well. So yeah, it's really good. It's really good. But she's sort of she's like a strict. She's like so she does, instead of like Mary Poppins being like all nice and motherly, right? She's like really, if you don't behave, stuff's gonna happen. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
She's not the nicey one, but it's funny. It's funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next up,
kids would absolutely love it. So next up, we've got Sky High.
I've not seen this, but is it
Me
the
either.
superhero one with
The superhero schools?
No, Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell, Kelly Preston. Those also dead.
Yeah, it's a Disney one. It's a Disney movie.
It is,
but yeah, I remember it coming out, but that's about it. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
Next
The
one.
Legend of Zorro.
I've seen it, but I couldn't tell you anything about it because I really enjoyed Mask of Zorro. When that came out in '99. Did we do a trilogy of these, or did we just do 1 and 2?
I don't know. I only remember these two, so there must be two.
Yeah, it must only be these two.
I don't think there's a third, but the this isn't as good as the first.
No,
one.
this is what I mean.
Like,
it's still got Anthony Hopkins in this, hasn't it?
The script is so bad. Like, the script is so bad, but at the same time, like the action set pieces and stuff just don't hit either. But it's directed again by Martin Campbell, who directed the first one, also directed Goldeneye. But yeah, it's just not. It just misses everything that was good about the first movie. And I think
It
it's
got
because
really
it's
bad
aware.
reviews,
I
I
like,
seem to remember
yeah,
as well.
yeah. I went to see this in the cinema just because I really enjoyed the first one, and I
No,
fancied
this
the
is what I
pants
mean.
off of Antonio
The first
Banderas.
one, yeah,
So
but the first one is just, it's just it's a proper adventure film. The first one, because that came
yeah,
out, it was either 98 or 99. I remember watching that at the cinema, and with the second one, it just seemed to come out of nowhere. Like several years later, when you're
yeah,
like, oh, okay, and then when you watch it, you go, ah, right, this just seems to be like, do we fancy making a bit of cash? And then it just being shit.
yeah. That's what it is. It does very much feel like a cash grab,
Yeah.
really, and it's just
Almost feels
poor.
like a straight to video sequel.
Yes,
Like where you
that is
get like
exactly what it feels like.
you know, Wild Things, then Wild Things 2, and American Psycho 2, and you're like, what? How? Then you watch it, you see it on the shelf in your local Blockbuster, and you go, yeah, go on, I'll spend that £3.50 on an overnight rental of this new release. And then you go, ugh, how is it so bad?
That's what happened with the Net as well. I think that was like 10 years
Yes, that
later. There was
had,
the Net
the net too.
2.0.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, oh yeah, just and the thing is with Vast Legend of Zorro, it's such a big cast. Just everything that made it fun, the first one. But again, I don't remember anything about this, and that speaks volumes. But I know
Yeah,
that
me
I've seen
either.
it. I know that
Yeah.
I've seen it.
I've seen it, but I
Um,
can't remember much other than thinking at the time, I think this is rubbish. Like, I don't believe Antonio Banderas and Catherine Zeta-Jones' relationship in it. Like, it's
that's
not,
a big
there's no
thing.
fire in it at all. Yeah, whereas in the original, you can feel the heat between them.
Mm,
There is zero. Oh, Zorro
zero
in
heat.
the next one. But yeah, it's crap.
Well,
Um,
moving
Next
on
up, Saw
to the next
2. I
film.
haven't seen Saw 2 because I don't watch horror movies.
I
So
know you don't watch horror movies. I have seen Saw 2, obviously sequel to the first one, because this is a time when they were bringing out a Saw film a year. The first one being a real surprise hit. The first three Saw films are telling a really good story, and they all interlock. Like they really, really do. I'll die on that hill. But I can't remember how Saw 2 ends
is this the
because
one with the puppet thing?
yes, yeah, Jigsaw. Oh, well,
Okay.
Billy. Sorry, Billy the
Has it got
puppet.
what's his face in it from The
Danny
Princess
Glover.
Bride?
Oh, yeah, in the first one, Carrie Owls, and
Yeah.
it's got Danny Glover in as well in the first one.
Ah.
So it's carrying on telling the story of John Kramer, who's Jigsaw, who is a man who's dying, um, and then recently Saw X is set between 1 and 2. But yeah, I just think they were really, really clever, the first few Saw films. But I'm not going to give anything away because I can't remember like what happens in each one. I think this might be the one with. What's it fucking called? It'll come to me later after I start recording. But seriously, the first three Saw films tell a good story, but then by 4 and 5, they were basically, I don't know, like shoehorning in very, very tenuous links.
Mm.
So by that point you were like going, right, I'm just watching this now just for the gore. Whereas the first few actually told a decent story, and it all made sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, not so bad. And the thing is, they were meant to be doing a new Saw film this year, but they pulled out, and that's gone by the wayside. That would have been Saw 11.
Whoa.
I know, insane in the brain. So music. There we go.
Music.
Songs that
So
I know. I know
singles.
both of these.
Me too. And I like both of these. So Push the Button from the Sugarbabes is our first number one of the month, which is actually a really catchy banging tune.
Yeah, about to say, this is what you want from a pop song,
Yeah.
and Sugar Babes, various iterations. Yeah,
So,
this was a big
and
one.
then the next one we have, I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor, or Dance Floor as you would call it. I would say
Dance floor.
dance. And that's from the
Yeah,
Arctic Monkeys, as you would
just
call
coming
them.
onto the scene, from
Yeah.
Sheffield. Now, I
Yeah, and
don't
it's
like him at first because
I
the
like them at
voices did me head
first.
in.
I like them at first. I think the British music industry got another shot in the arm with bands and sort of around this point.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah. It was the
after
indie
the early
explosion.
2000s, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we
it was the
had,
indie
you know, the
explosion.
Arctic Monkeys, you've got Block Party, you've got the Editors, you know, all these bands coming around who are just doing these fucking
Yep, Franz
great
Ferdinand,
music. Franz
Maximo Park,
Ferdinand, yeah, yeah, yeah,
oh Christ, the other one. Oh God, it'll come to me anyway. There's loads. There's absolutely
yeah.
loads, you know.
Arctic Monkeys now, though, I do not care for them.
Yeah, but
Like the stuff they've
the
done
fact
in
they're still going,
the last 10 years have been pretty poor.
I couldn't even tell you anything now
But I
because now we
loved
don't really have a singles chart anymore either,
no,
and they release new albums, you know, because one came out called The Car, I think, a couple of years ago, and I couldn't tell you any songs off it, you know.
no. But yeah, that was our two number ones. Next is the album, which is Push the Button by the Sugarbabes. I don't really know much else that's on there, to be honest, other
No,
than Push the Button. So moving on to television, we got two debuts this month on BBC Two on the 22nd. We've got American Dad making its UK debut over here, which is the
which
follow-on series from Family Guy by what's his name, Seth
um
uh,
McFarlane.
uh, MacFarlane. Thank
Yeah, yeah.
you.
But it was a big deal because we've talked about this before when we talked about 24 and Lost. BBC, well, in fact, I would just say terrestrial TV channels, they were really good at being on the money and tapping up these big upcoming American shows and getting them before Sky did and
Yeah,
things like that, you know. And then I think within a few years, by I'd say 2010, within 5 years, it was all just Sky jumping on everything, or you know, subscription channels and stuff.
yeah. It was
American
a big
Dad, I
deal,
used to
and
love.
American
I used
Dad,
to
I
love it.
loved it. Yeah, it was. I preferred
Yeah,
it to Family Guy
I don't know if
massively.
it's still going now.
I don't
Because
know either. I know Family Guy still is, but
yeah, oh God, yeah. I still watch it when it goes when the new episodes go on to Disney. Like I just watched the latest. What is it about season 39 of Simpsons, which
I
just started as
bailed
well.
out about 20 years ago on The Simpsons.
Yeah,
So let's
it
move on then
wasn't
to
great.
Channel 4 on the 31st of October with Deal or No Deal.
God, starting this on Halloween with Edmonds.
Yeah, Noel Edmonds getting a phone call from a banker who was saying how much he'll give you for your box. Um,
Yeah.
Made a really good pub quiz machine
Oh
though.
God, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Wasted
yeah.
many a pound on that, Paul. Many a pound.
Yes, yeah. When me and Carrie got together, we used to do quite a lot of the quiz machines back then. You don't really seem to get that many in pubs anymore, do you?
No, they're all fruities now, aren't they? So
Yeah, yeah. It's not as fun, but I did love a good quiz machine. You know, we just go
yeah,
around.
me
Just got to
too.
put a fiver in and just, you know, see if you can win a few quid back.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
always like the quiz machines. It's more fun to play something where you're actually using your
Oh,
brain rather
gotcha.
than trying to play a game of chance.
But I don't know what
Um,
year I don't know what year they all disappeared. It's just all of a sudden, I
yeah, but the
suppose.
TV show though, the
Yes.
TV
Sorry.
show
Yeah.
was very popular, still running today, but with Stephen Malahani or whatever his
Yeah.
name
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, another name I do not know how to pronounce. So let's move on to video games because we do have some video games that are
Yes.
worth talking about this month. First up is Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow on the Nintendo DS. Absolutely incredible 2D Metroid, not Metroid, Castlevania game, which I would say still like the best that's not Symphony of the Night of the series.
And an early DS game as well,
Yeah.
really. You know, not the type of thing. I never bothered with this one because I can give or take Castlevania games, but I do prefer Castlevania games to Metroid, as said to you before we started recording.
Yeah, but no, Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow spent many, many months inside my DS when it
Mm,
first arrived. So next, Black and White 2 on the PC, which is a follow-on for Peter Molyneux's Black and White series.
never
I
played
played the
these.
original, but I didn't play the sequel, so I can't
No.
say so much about that. We also have the Wallace and Gromit Curse of the Were-Rabbit, which came out on the PS2 and the Xbox.
I had this on GameCube. I'm sure it came out on GameCube as well.
May have been later then, because it didn't. Yeah.
Well, I know that I've had it in my collection, but again, it's just your 3D platformer type thing,
Yeah.
but something that you play for about 2 minutes.
Made
Anyway,
at
moving on.
Frontier as well, where I worked.
Oh,
But I
right,
didn't work
okay.
there. I joined a bit later. However, I do know that there were for job interviews for testers, they would have them test. They would do like to get bugs on a really old build of that game, which is cool. Next up is SSX on Tour, which came out on the PS2, Xbox, GameCube, and PSP. This is probably the weakest of the series on that generation.
So, was this a fourth game?
Yeah.
Will it been? Yeah, because obviously, yeah. Is this where it became a bit more open world? No?
Yeah, there's a bit more. No, that's
No.
the next one,
I
wasn't it?
thought it was. Right, sorry, I might be.
It might have been actually. I don't know. I
Getting
played it
more
on
mixed
PSP, and the PSP version is not open world. So
Right, okay. I
PSP
again,
probably not the best place to play that. To be fair,
no. I was not really bothered about SSX snowboarding, sporty type stuff.
I do miss the series. I do wish it would come back.
Oh no, it had fans.
Yeah.
It's just not my thing at all.
So next up is Rockstar's The Warriors on PS2 and Xbox. Now this I could not believe had been turned into a game. So this is based on an early 80s movie called The Warriors. No, is it early 80s?
Late
It's
70s.
Late
It's
70s,
late
isn't it? Yeah.
70s.
Late 70s. And it's
Great
a
film.
fantastic movie, like unbelievably
Yes.
good movie. But it was a film I'd seen probably in the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And here in 2005, Rockstar Games was making a game based on the Warriors. And it's a fantastic, like, scrolling fighting game, but like 3D with a like awesome cinematics and stuff, like some of the original voice cast as well.
I love this game.
I love it. It's
Absolutely
so
love
good.
it. It does such a good job because it follows the plot of a game, but it's also got some added
Movie.
bits that aren't it. Sorry, the game follows the storyline of the movie, but also offers a bit more insight leading up to certain parts. And like you say, you've got the actual voice actors. People like James Remar, who was obviously in Dexter as well, later on. And yeah, it's just brilliant. And again, because I loved my scrolling beat 'em ups, this is how you brought that genre into the sort of 3D modern era at the time. And this is another reason why it just makes me sad how Rockstar are now, releasing their one game every decade and a half. But yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, like this is one that I've got for my PS2 and will keep definitely.
This is my favorite game that Rockstar have made outside of... No, it is my favorite Rockstar game. Like, this and Bully are my two favorite games by Rockstar.
Couldn't get into Bully that much.
Oh,
I
Bully's
got rid
so
of that.
good.
No,
Love Bully.
I remember buying that. I remember buying it new, and I was like, it's not really doing it for me. But with Warriors, it's one that I actually played through and completed, because it's determined to see it all.
Yeah. So next up on the PC, it's Quake 4. So the fourth installment of the Quake series. This one went more back into, like, there's also the great multiplayer on it as well, but they also go back into single player, whereas Quake 3 was Quake 3 Arena, and was a online focused game. But Quake 4 goes back to having like Quake 1 and 2 with a campaign, which was a big deal. Going back to that, it also looked incredible at the time. I remember seeing screenshots of it and thinking, wow, games can never look this good again.
You needed quite a good PC, I seem to remember, like, because this was just as was leaving Game Station around this time.
Well, this was just when I stopped playing on PC because I couldn't keep up with.
I know, because it was still, that was just it. It was still in a period where you had to keep, upgrading your graphics cards and everything like that.
Yeah.
And
your
you're
RAM
thinking,
and stuff all the time.
and you just had a year earlier when you'd had Doom 3. Obviously, then you've got Quake going, right, well, I see you're Doom 3 and Erasure type
Yeah.
thing, and we're talking like two of the most well-known FPS series, on PC, and it's one of those games that consoles couldn't really do, so
It did come to
that's
the Xbox 360. So
yeah, but it's like a little bit later. But that's what I mean, like for this generation, because I know you had Doom 3 on original Xbox, but
yeah,
do you know what I mean? They're not quite
it's
there.
not quite as good as it is on PC on high-end
Yeah,
PC. But yeah,
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 but you could see it's sort of like almost there, but not
yeah.
quite. But yeah, not the type of game I'd buy or play anyway. Unless it's a Football Manager
Yeah, I
on
ended up
PC.
getting it on 360 just because I really wanted to see what the campaign was like. It was okay. It was quite forgettable, I felt.
Yeah,
So next up, we have my boys, Raven Software, back again with X-Men Legend 2: Rise of Apocalypse on the PS2, Xbox, GameCube, PC, PSP, and the N-Gage.
wow, Engage Chat.
N-Gage chat, there it is, guys. There's your
Engage
one
chat.
mention.
There we go. I know.
But
I
yes,
owned one at the time as well.
I bought this game day one, but I got it on PSP just because I was like, I think this will suit portable play, and I was right. Like playing that sort of scrolling fighting RPG works so much
Yeah,
better on a handheld.
like thingy, wasn't it? Like that Lord of the Rings Third Age. No.
No,
Yeah.
no.
No. No. I played the first game, a little bit of this, but I didn't play
Down.
this.
It's a top-down game. Sorry,
Okay.
you have to hold on.
No,
Hold on.
see, that's me. That's me losing track. But no,
I'm
again,
gonna have to cut
definitely
this bit.
not
Sorry, hold
looking
on.
at it.
I just need to cut. I need to cough for a sec. I haven't got any
All right.
water near me. I need to look at the time. 2 hours roughly. Okay. Yeah, so I really enjoyed this game. So it's a top-down sort of game where you're going through and you're punching and kicking and stuff, and it's real-time action, but it's an RPG, and you get to like assemble your X-Men. So you start with a smaller group, and then as you progress through the story, you get more and more of the characters to build up. And it's about trying to like have like the right selection of your 4 characters that you can have in your party. And then it was a fantastic RPG by Raven Software. I absolutely love this game on PSP. I haven't played it on a console though, so maybe it's even better on there, and I've just missed out. So lastly then, which is a really big release, but wasn't a really big release at the time, but in retrospect it is, and that's Call of Duty 2 on the PC. So
Yeah.
Call of Duty, the original was from Infinity Ward, who span out of the Medal of Honor guys over at EA. When they left, they formed their new studio and they went straight into making a first-person shooter set in World War II. And the sequel came along, and it ended up being a really big seller on Xbox 360. Rather than like the PC version, I think probably sold really well as well. However, it was like the game to get with your Xbox 360 when it launched in December, as it was a launch title for the Xbox 360. That's where I played it, and I absolutely loved Call of Duty 2 so much. I did play the original Call of Duty on PC. It was one of the last PC shooters I played before I ended up like moving away from playing PC games. And yeah, absolutely brilliant. You played much Call of Duty 2, Paul?
No, not at all. I don't like games like this at all. I know how popular it was because soon after this, I think by the third game, it was 2 studios taking it in turns, wasn't it, for every Call of Duty?
Yeah.
I can't bloody remember what the studios are called now, but no, just war games, so things like this, Battlefield, Medal of Honor, just did nothing for me. The only shooting game that I played in war really was Medal of Honor Frontline a few years earlier. On GameCube, I think that was on as well. But yeah, not my thing, this at all. But then you see how popular it is. But it just shows how much Call of Duty's changed over the years from those early World War II settings, going on to like, futuristic this, that, and the other, but Nah,
I think
not for me.
I've said this on the podcast before, but Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is like the best campaign in the Call of Duty series.
I'll take your word for it.
It's from Raven Software, right? They made the campaign for it, and it is just absolutely brilliant. It's nothing like Call of Duty. It's so good. It's like a spy espionage game. It's absolutely brilliant. Love it. So let's move on to news then. On the 3rd of October, actor and comedian Ronnie Barker sadly dies of heart failure in a hospice in Oxfordshire, aged 76.
It's not that old, is it? But again,
It's
people
not.
our age will remember him on TV so much.
And he did look about 76 in like the 70s.
Exactly.
But yeah, very, very talented actor and comedian. So he obviously people would know him as best for his work on the Two Ronnies and things like Porridge and Open All Hours and stuff. But yeah, incredible actor and comedian. On the 18th of October, the landmark Spinnaker Tower in Portsmouth opens. At 170 metres or 560 foot, is the tallest accessible structure in the UK outside of London.
Oh God, no, never seen that. Never been to Portsmouth though.
Have you not? You're not missing out.
No.
Sorry, anyone listening who's from Portsmouth. I used to live
I've been
really
to
close
Southampton once. Was it twice? I think I've been there twice. Anyway, moving
Anyways,
on.
well, that's it for 2005. So we'll come back in the year 2015.
PSP is here.
Welcome to the year 2015. Paul, should we get straight into the movies?
Yes, mixed bag, but here we
Mixed
go.
bag. So the first one, The Martian, with Matt Damon, who's stranded on the planet Mars.
I have seen this, but only a few years ago, because it went through a period of being on terrestrial TV quite a bit, and I can't even remember why he gets stranded. Because aren't there quite a
Not
few
seen
people
it.
up there with
It's
him, and
really
he just
weird.
gets left?
I don't know. I've not seen it.
Oh, you never
It's
seen
very
it?
weird. No,
Okay.
I've never seen The Martian. Yeah,
Because
it's really
they're trying,
bizarre.
but he gets stuck up there on this planet, and we're trying to help him get back, but we can only get back after a certain amount of time has passed. Because there's parts where he's, planting potatoes and things like that, and to survive and get substance. So, yeah, quite enjoyed, but I couldn't tell you much more about it. But when I watched it, I wasn't bored. There's probably
Yeah.
people out there who absolutely love The Martian, but it's just because I was like, oh Christ, sci-fi film, I can't be arsed with it. But when I watched it, I was like, that was actually quite enjoyable. And obviously not a massive cast because most of it is based around Matt Damon, dealing with being on his own, you know. But yeah, that's one I only watched fairly recently. So what have
Yeah.
we got next? The
Next up is The
Intern.
Intern with Robert De
Sorry.
Niro, Anne Hathaway, and Rene Russo. This film I watched on a plane. However, I did not have. I was watching it over someone's shoulder. They were watching it on their
Jesus
laptop,
Christ.
and they had the
Oh.
subtitles on. So I
Okay.
I was able to follow the movie from start to finish. I have no idea. It's really hard to judge a movie when you're watching over someone's shoulder and reading the subtitles. But I do
And
remember
breathing in the
thinking,
ear.
yeah, I do remember thinking, oh, I bet that's quite good.
I bet that's quite good. I might spring for that to actually watch it myself in the comfort of my home. No.
But yes, that's all I have to say on the intern. I don't remember much other than thinking to myself, oh, it's Robert De Niro. It's
I
really
don't
slumming it
think
these
I've
days.
seen this. I really, really don't think I've seen this.
No.
Yeah.
Next up
So
is
yeah.
Spectre, the Bond movie. Go back to our Bond movies podcast if you want to hear us talk more about that one. Need to say it's not one of the better Bond movies. Next up,
Is that
then
the one where he pretends to be a cop, the baddie? Oh, is that the end of God, I always get them
it's
mixed
not
up.
that one. Spectre's the one where he goes and Blofeld has right at the end. Blofeld has him in his compound.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah. So next up is
Anyway.
The Walk, which stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who's I think he's Polish, isn't he? He's like a Polish guy who does a tightrope walk between the Twin Towers,
Oh, for
the World
fuck's
Trade
sake.
Center.
I could not give a
Um,
damn about this. Because
it
I was
was
like,
a
wait,
it
when I
was
sat on the list,
based
I
on a
was
real
like, what is it?
story.
What is it?
It was based on a real story of back
Yeah.
in 1974, and it's actually really good. Like the actual the tension when he's up on the rope and looking down, you're like, like your heart's in your mouth. I really enjoyed this, and it's from Robert Zemeckis, Back to the Future director Robert Zemeckis.
No, not for me. No.
Um,
No.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a lot. But I did play the VR game. Well, not the game, but like the VR experience of The Walk.
Oh God, I bet that makes you feel sick.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
Oh God. I'm
And I
spinning
played
just
this
thinking
at
about that. Ugh.
I played this at an event. I can't remember which event it was. It might have been EGX or something.
Ooh.
And they had fans blowing as well, so it made you feel like you were walking between the Twin Towers.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was really cool. I love VR, you know that. So next up is Sicario.
Never watched it. I know it's meant
Oh,
to be quite good though, because
it's
we
so good.
sell the films 1 and 2 quite
The second
often
one's not very good,
at work.
but the first one with Emily Blunt, Benicio del Toro, Josh Brolin. Oh, it's such a good action movie, but like a thriller as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just absolutely brilliant. They're trying to take down they're FBI agents trying to take down the Mexican drug cartel. But it's just so tense. Like it's one of the most tense movies you'll ever see. It's absolutely brilliant. I want to watch it again actually. Now
I
I'm
might see
saying
if
that.
that's on something actually. I might finally get round to trying that.
Yeah, it's really cool. And Emily Blunt is like really fucking badass in it as well.
Okay.
Yeah, really, really cool movie. Love that. The last one is Solace for this month, and that's a thriller starring Anthony Hopkins, Colin Farrell, Jeffrey Dean Morgan as well is in it.
I don't think I've ever heard of this.
You've heard of Jeffrey Dean Morgan though.
Yeah, from Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, and yeah.
Yeah, but I've never heard of this film, I don't think.
Okay.
Solace.
So there's a psychic doctor who's Anthony Hopkins, and he's working with Jeffrey Dean Gordon, who's an FBI agent, and they're trying to track Colin Farrell as the serial killer. So
No,
like
never.
he
I'm
gets,
just looking now. Never seen this.
and because he's psychic and stuff, he gets into the head of the serial killer, and it's really dark at times. It's really good. It's a really good thriller. I actually quite enjoyed this one.
Okay. No,
It's got
never
really
ever
bad
heard of it.
reviews though on Rotten Tomato, but I did think it was really good. Because it was originally the script was meant to be a sequel to Seven.
Okay.
Yeah. So there we go. That's that one. So
No,
let's
never
move
heard
on
of it.
to music for the month of October in 2015.
God, here we go.
Here we go. This is where we really shine with our knowledge. What Do You Mean by Justin Bieber?
Who? No, I know who Justin Bieber is at least.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Writings on the Wall by Sam Smith, which I do know because I watched the movie Spectre, and this is the theme tune to the movie.
All right, okay.
It's a good tune. It's a good tune. And Sam Smith has good vocals, so yeah. Turn the Music Louder by KDA, who I don't know
Who?
what that is. I don't know.
At least I've heard of the other two.
Killer Dance Act? I don't know.
I don't know.
Albums. Rattle That Lock by David Gilmour. David Gilmour, obviously, of Pink Floyd.
That's surprising, though, that got to number one.
Yeah.
Because
Well, Pink Floyd, mate, they're
oh no,
still
no,
huge.
I know, I totally get that. But even so, to have that sort of artist do enough, to get to number one, that's quite impressive. Especially when I look at the rest of the people coming up.
Carousel, is it? I guess by Disclosure. Don't know.
Dance artist, but yeah, still going.
We the Generation by The Rudimental. Now this is actually really good. Like The Rudimental.
Never
do some
listened to it.
really
They're
good
still
tracks.
going though. They've just done a new album this year. I know that much.
They do some really good tracks actually. I do know them. Faithless 2.0 by Faithless.
They're still going, and they've just done a new album as well recently.
Without
But I don't. I've not listened to Faithless for so long now, though.
I used to listen to the Faithless all the time when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Then we have the self-titled album Jamie Lawson by Jamie
Don't
Lawson.
know who that is.
Don't know who that is. So let's move on to television then. Television on TV on BBC Two. Sorry, on the 22nd we have The Last Kingdom. Have you seen this?
No. But again, I was looking at it at work yesterday. Well, not yesterday, the other day, because they did quite a few series of this, and I think the
but
box set on offer,
the first
like Game of
I think it's
Thronesy
the
type
first
thing.
two. I think it's the first two are on BBC, and then Netflix picked it up.
Yeah.
And it's a British historical drama. The main character is like an English man who then gets taken in by the Vikings that are invading. And as the series progresses, his loyalty between his adopted family and his actual homeland starts getting blurred and stuff. And yeah, it's really good. It's better than Game of Thrones by about 1,000,000 times.
Okay.
But it's just not as well known.
No.
Really, really good.
We sell it like not every single week or anything, but it's one of those which is it gets asked for going, oh, have you got it? And we usually just have like the complete box setting of it all.
And I think they're doing a movie to finish it off as well.
No, that rings a bell. That might already be out, I think.
In fact, it is, 2023.
Yeah.
Seven Kings. I haven't seen that, but I've seen the entire series, so I need to watch the movie.
Yeah.
But yes, so I will need to watch that one. But I did really, really enjoy The Last Kingdom as a TV show. Thought it was absolutely brilliant. So the last TV show of this month is on Channel 4 on the 19th, which is SAS Who Dares Wins, which is a TV show that makes me feel really shit about myself. As you see these people doing like these SAS things, like really getting into shape, like really disciplined and stuff, and there's me sitting there with a bag of crisps watching it. Like hating myself even more every single crisp I eat.
Yeah.
By the end of the packet, I've just got a gun in my mouth. Yeah. So let's move on to games then. There's actually quite a few games this month. So the first one I thought I'd mention is 2064 Read Only Memories. So Read Only Memories is a cyberpunk adventure game.
I've never played this one.
Never played this?
No, never played this one.
So it's really inspired by Snatcher.
Okay, yeah.
And
I remember that.
It's a really good adventure game. I'd thoroughly recommend it if you like stuff like Snatcher. I played it through on Vita. This was the PC release that came out in October on 1st in October 2015. But yeah, I played it on Vita and absolutely adored it. So I would thoroughly recommend anyone go and check that one out. Other games released this month: Rock Band 4 came out on PS4, Xbox One. As I mentioned in one of our last episodes, that game is now no longer for sale digitally, and they are removing DLC pretty much monthly at the moment because of the licensing expiring after 10 years. So if you want to get it, go ahead and get it. It didn't have the same impact as the original Rock Band, obviously, because that craze had been over for quite a while at that point.
Yeah, it was surprising because it had like a little bit of a break for a couple of years. Because, well, I may as well mention the next one, which is a Guitar Hero Live, because
Live,
it's
yeah.
still it's in that same sort of ballpark. And
Yeah.
bearing in mind, you had Guitar Hero with Rock Band coming out after it, you'd had a good strong 5 years, almost 6, but then the overkill, it strangled itself basically
Yeah.
with too many releases. But what I've said before, I used to love these games, but then when Rock Band 4 came out, it sort of caught me unaware because I was like, oh, right, okay, maybe it'll take off again. But I just think people couldn't be asked at all by that point.
I couldn't be bothered to get it because I didn't want to get like more, because I
More
already got
plastic.
rid of it. I'd already got rid of all the other stuff
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Rock Band, and I was like, I don't really want to get all that again, have to set it all up, and yeah, it just wasn't for me anymore, sadly.
I remember
And
seeing it in
so,
charity shops and just not even bothering then,
yeah,
reduced it. Just look at it and go, no. But the next game is,
Transformers
yes.
Devastation, PS4, Xbox One, PC, Xbox 360, and PS3. So this was Platinum Games taking on the original Generation 1 Transformers, which also had the voice actors Peter Cullen and, God, why can't I think of the name of Megatron's voice actor? Frank Weller, isn't it? It is.
God
Yes,
knows, I can't,
it
I'm never
is.
going to know that.
And yeah, it's just an absolutely fun Transformers game where you play through as different Autobots and you can
Yeah.
sort of like upgrade them and things as you go through. But obviously, you stick with Optimus Prime because he's the best. But there are other ones to choose from: Wheeljack, Bumblebee. Is Jazz one of the playable characters? I can't remember.
I need to go
Mirage?
back and play
Mirage?
it
I think Mirage is one,
again.
isn't he? Yeah, it's a really good game.
I think I've still got it in my, PlayStation
I've got it on
purchases
my
because
PS4 and
it was on
PS5. Yeah. It was on PS
PlayStation Plus.
Plus. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it
So next,
looks amazing,
it looks really cool.
graphically and everything.
I remember seeing it at E3 that I think it was in 2015, and just thinking to myself, "Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I've been waiting for my
Yeah.
entire
I
life is to
remember
play a Transformers game."
Phil and you were so excited when I talked about that Maximum Power Up, because it
Yeah.
was done by Platinum as well, and they didn't do crap games.
All right. This
You
was one
know,
of their lesser games. It wasn't as good as their other stuff, but it is a really fun Transformers game. So next
yeah,
up, the Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collections. This is the collection of the 3 games from the PS3. Which Naughty Dog had got Blue Point Games to do the remastering, I guess, of these games.
yeah,
And yeah, they did a bang up job. I recently played through them again because that's what I do quite often with the Uncharted games.
yeah. Me
And
too, actually.
I keep going back and forth on which I prefer between 2 and 3.
Oh,
Because
two
sometimes
easily.
No, because 3, right? 3 has some of the most amazing set pieces in video games. So there's the bit when you're trying to get onto the boat, right? And you're trying to fight your way through the shipyard, but you can do it really well if you plan it. You can get through that without getting into an unholy gunfight with people.
Okay.
And then once you get on the ship, it's just amazing. It's just like, oh my god, I'm on like a proper cruise ship trying to get my way through to find Sully. And
Yeah.
then when the boat starts taking water and the ship goes upside down, you're like in the freaking Poseidon
Oh
adventure.
God, yeah.
So
Yes,
good.
yeah.
And then
It's
there's the
just that
bit
I
when
always
you're
think of the ending. I hate how it ends with those bad guys though that just keep like teleporting themselves.
that's because you're on drugs.
What did we not? Oh right, what? Me on drugs or thingy on
No,
drugs?
Nathan Drake. He drinks
Right,
the
sorry.
water, and the water's contaminated and makes people
Oh,
like hallucinate and stuff. So yeah, it is. Yeah, it's not. There's no supernatural in this one. They go a bit more
right.
grounded because it isn't
But
actually
yeah,
happening. He's
a
actually just.
good point on the boat though. What was it?
But
One was
then
it number 4 when you're on the motorbike chase?
yes, but the one
Right.
I'm thinking
Okay.
of in 3 as well is the airplane when you're on the cargo airplane,
Oh God, yeah, of
and
course.
but it's the whole point building up to that as well when you're getting across the airfield and things.
Oh no, that
Absolutely
is actually
brilliant.
class because that's almost as good as the train bit
Hmm.
in number 2, which I
Yeah,
absolutely love the train bit.
I do
I
too.
in fact, because Theo's been playing through them all because he's completed number 4,
Yeah.
And then he needs to get back on them actually, because then he got stuck on the first one somewhere. But I showed him a bit on the train, just where you get the into the gun turret and then that helicopter turns up. But I totally forgot about that bit on the third one, because again, on the airfield to get onto the plane, where you just about make it last minute, don't you, as it's starting to take off.
Yeah, but it's also the build up to it when you're getting like through the actual base, the airfield, like getting
Yeah.
through the buildings and stuff to get where you're going, and trying to do it without getting into gunfights. Again, it's just like really exhilarating. You're like, oh God, I don't want to get in a gunfight because.
Oh, I might just play this again.
And then and also the beginning in London when you're in the
Oh no,
pub.
that's brilliant. Yeah, with Charlie.
Yeah, with
Because I
Cuthbert.
remember getting it for my birthday one year, Uncharted 3, and we were like, oh yeah, we've got to go out for a meal. I was like, I just want to stay in and play this now,
Mhm.
So I played through just that intro bit. I was like going, this is absolutely fantastic.
That's
And
the thing. When I play, if I play through Uncharted 2, right, every time I finish it, I'm like, fuck, I love that game so much. That's my favorite. And then I'll play Uncharted 3 and I'm like, God, I love that game so much. I think I might prefer it to 2. It's so weird. I just can't decide between them. Like, I love them both so much. And yeah, the only thing I don't like, the thing that does drag it down is when you're playing young Drake.
yeah, yeah. In fact, then that means Theo's actually played quite a bit of number 3 then, because obviously as young Drake, and getting through the orphanage and climbing over the yeah, because it's Sam, his brother, in it, isn't it?
And that's number 4.
No, number 4. Hang on, who is it then? He meets up with in number 3 then.
Sully, he meets up with Sully. He's
Right.
a bit older than he is in 4.
I've only played these like in the last year with him. I need to see where he's up to with all the saves. Right, sorry, that's me getting stuck. Let's
That's right.
move on.
So move on to Dragon Quest Hero, The World Tree's Woe, and The Blight Below, which
I
is
didn't play this.
it's the Warriors style game. So like
Okay.
the not Dragon Dynasty Warriors and stuff like that.
Right, no, I
Um,
didn't play it.
it's not my cup of tea, and I love Dragon Quest. It's just I don't like playing those Warriors styles games. I just think they're boring. Next is Tales of Zestiria, which was on PS4, PC, and PS3, which was the latest at the time in the Tales of series, and probably the weakest as well. It's not very good. You don't really have party or anything. It's just kind of meh. I don't like it.
No.
Next up, Assassin's Creed Syndicate on the PS4, Xbox, and PC. I love Syndicate. Not as
Is
much
this
as
one set in
Unity.
London?
Yeah, this is the one that's set in
Victorian
1868,
times?
I think. Yeah.
Okay.
1868, you play as twins Jacob and Evie, and yeah, it's
Yeah.
really cool. I love the fact that it's at the dawn of the industrial revolution, and you're getting on planes, but getting on trains. And one of the things I do love is that they've really modelled the stations properly.
Okay.
Because if you go to London now, right, the train stations, like other than like King's Cross, they're pretty much how they've always been, right? Especially the undergrounds, right? They've not changed. And you go to this thing and you're like, oh my God, yeah, this is what Marylebone looks like. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's so cool. But yes, I do like Assassin's Creed Syndicate very, very much. And lastly, for video games, we've got Halo 5 Guardians on the Xbox One. Now, this one, I really like this one. So you don't play the full game as Master Chief. In fact, you don't play with him as much at all. You're mostly this other Spartan called Locke, and on his
Right.
team you've got like Nathan Fillion, who's like properly Nathan Fillion, like his character model and everything is Nathan Fillion, who's a Spartan, who was also in Halo 3 ODST. This character, and then becomes like part of the Spartan project.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really like this one because Locke is like a really good character to play as instead of Master Chief. He's got a lot more to his move sets and stuff like that. So I really enjoy playing as him. And whenever I move to Master Chief, I'm like, ugh, to play as Master Chief. I'd rather play as Locke. Whereas I think most other people who played it were like, ugh, I don't want to play as this other guy. I want to play as Master Chief. Whereas I'm like, no, I want to play as Locke. But then I think I said this on another podcast. That my favorite Halos aren't ones with Master Chief. So I like Reach, ODST, and Halo 5 more than I do the others, which I know is like heresy to most people who like Halo. But I really do like Halo, and I just really like those 3 games so much more than the others. And I know like everyone's like, "What an absolute dickhead!" Halo 3 and 2 are so much better. Yeah, they probably are, but I just prefer those ones. I don't.
I suppose it's
Yeah,
just doing something, maybe, like say, being a bit different and being a bit brave, going for a different character. But I've only ever played like the first 3 games. That was it. That's all
but I
I ever
do love
played.
those games. I love Halo 1 through 3, and then I love ODST. I love Reach. I don't really like Halo 4 at all. I think it's really shit. I love Halo 5, and I don't like Halo Infinite. So, but I do love the Halo series, and I really want more of it. But yes, Halo 3, Halo 5 Guardians, I think is really underrated. Really underrated.
I think people were saying it was a bit of a return to form, though. After Halo 4.
Well, yeah, I
But
mean, like, you
again,
could
I'm
shit
only just
in,
going off,
you could shit on a disc
remembering.
and send it to someone. It'd be better than Halo 4. Halo 4 is awful.
Oh,
But yeah, I absolutely bloody love the Halo series. Every time I think about it, I just want it to be back, like properly
yeah.
back. Yeah. So anyway, let's move on. Let's finish up then with the news of this month. And there's only 2 bits of news, 3, I guess. On the 1st of October, a new law banning smoking in vehicles carrying children comes into force in England and Wales, which I don't think is still enforced because
No.
I see so many parents vaping in their cars with their kids, which is still smoking.
Yeah, I wasn't even aware of it, really. you
So,
know. Yeah, speaks volumes.
and I remember as a kid, my grandparents would smoke when they were driving us.
Oh God,
And
yeah,
my granddad
yeah.
would just open the window as if that's not, as if that's fine. It's like, well, it's not really, is it? I'd rather you
But
could
but
just wait the half an hour to get where we're going.
I still, even as an adult though, if you're in a car with smokers, I've not been for a while. I remember this is about 15 years ago, going on a mate's stag do, and we were going up to, I think it was the Lake District, so it's only like an hour drive, and I was in one car originally full of non-smokers, and then everyone just basically changed cars at services. And I was just in a car with 4 people smoking. I was sat in the middle, like going, "This is fucking horrible," And everyone's just like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, Mogs." I'm like, ugh. Like feeling so sick. Time I got, up there, and I just remember it lashing it down, going up the motorway, and I was like, "I've got to open a window," because it's like, this is just horrible. I
No,
can't breathe.
I was a smoker when they banned smoking indoors,
Yeah.
you know, and I remember thinking, thank God we don't, because I never smoked indoors. Even when I was a smoker, I would go
Mm.
outside and smoke. Even if I was at a pub or a club or anything, I would go outside and smoke. But no one else would, right? So I'd still be stinking of smoke
Yeah. Yeah.
when I got home, and it just makes your hangover so much worse.
It seems like a
But yeah,
lifetime ago, doesn't it? It
oh yeah.
really, really does. But yeah, there we
Um,
go. So what's
so
next?
also on the 1st of October, a new consumer protection come into force under the Consumer Rights Act, guaranteeing a full refund for faulty goods up to 30 days after purchase.
Okay.
So stick that in your pipe and smoke it, Argos, who would never let you return stuff.
Oh,
On the 5th of October, archaeologists start digging up the remains of a Spitfire that crashed into the Cambridgeshire Fens in 1940, which is actually a really cool. I remember because being an archaeologist student, right? I remember thinking, "Fuck, I would have loved to have done that." Like, but it was like it was so long after I'd done my degree. But I would love to have gone on that dig. That would have been so cool to have found this like old Spitfire and like, that'd been brilliant. I don't, sorry, that I brought that one up for news because that's for me. It's like porn for me. Um,
oh.
you don't care. So
No, no, not me.
no, cool. Well, that's it for this month's episode of the Electronic Eggs Capsule. So hopefully you'll join us for our main show, Electronic Eggs podcast, and our other show, the Electronic Eggs Extra, or just the
Yes.
Electronic Extra show, where we cover just one single subject on those ones, and then we have more of a talking about what we've been playing, news, that sort of stuff on the main pod. So thank you very much for joining me, Paul.
No worries, enjoyed it. And I think this time we knew a little bit more about the later years, which was a nice change.
It is, yeah. Just wait until next month, mate. It'll be even worse, trust me. Cool. Thanks, everyone.
wait.
Cheers.